Sweet. Dude, Vodka he's a talented guy. Yeah, you Oh, really? Oh, we're on. We're live. We're rolling. Oh, I had no idea. What's up, chat? I'm not even in the chat actually. I'm gonna have to pull the chat up. Let's see here. YouTube. Yeah, but did they hear you say that? That's the question. Oh, sound for CH. Here. Oh, there we go. Chat. Chat for life. There we go. All right. Heck yeah. Dude, how long have we been live? Are you kidding me? There's a lot of people here already. How about that? There we go. There we go. I can hear you just fine. Dude, CH. Yeah, man. So yeah, Brew Show. That's right. Vodka did make this logo, and so that's actually just a shirt design. But I was just thinking today that I want to turn that into our actual company logo. I think I think that'd be badass. I can hear you just fine. I mean, but I'm listening to you through the Discord. Pick a no CH. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? So anyway, okay. Something. He needs a tech guy. Anyway, yeah, so Seach and I were talking about, speaking of the Brew Show, the Brew Show's latest video, Hazy IPA Hot Sauce, which I have pulled up here. Unreal intro on this thing. Ridiculous.
Look, I'm gonna be honest.
Which,
really like
alright,
beer
I
that
get the
much.
green screen. I mean, which, very well done. But then he goes into this like this kind of like matrix wraparound. Um, I don't even know what you call it. Just like a freeze frame. And what is going on with that, Brew Show? Are you a literal like Hollywood? Are you a literal Hollywood guy? What is going on? Brew Show went to film school in Chicago. He's he says, "Lazy Susan, I stole it from my kitchen." I don't know what that means. Oh wait, did you just turned around and the camera stayed still? No way. I could still hear you. Yeah. Anyway, cheers, Brucho. That no way that you stayed still, or the camera stayed still and you just spun around on a lazy Susan. Anyway, if you haven't seen the Brew Show's latest video, the Hazy IPA Hot Sauce, you got to watch it. And it's actually, the rest of it's really well done as well. But if nothing else, if you're not into hot sauce, at least watch the intro because it is super rad. It's super unexpected. CH said, "Have you seen Brucho's latest video?" I said, "No." He goes, "You got to check it out." But anyway, good stuff. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm drinking a saison, a lavender saison. CH, you're still coming through to me, man. Somebody said you got to hit the unmute button. Have you tried that? Okay. Okay, sweet. Yeah, all right.
Look, I'm gonna be
Anyway,
honest. I don't really like beer
yeah,
that
the Brew
much.
Show, he sets the bar pretty high. The Brew Show's doing Matrix videos, and Martin from Homebrew from the Homebrew Challenge is like sent me a bunch of AI generated art this week, which I don't even know how he made that stuff. That's crazy as well. But Martin, yeah, he's back. Barton's got he's got a little secret project going on. I don't think it's public knowledge yet, and I don't think I'm allowed to say anything about it. But yeah, he's got something crazy in the works. So I think everybody's gonna be happy to see what he does next. But anyway, what's everybody? That's cool. So I'm just gonna lose you. So CH is leaving. You're gonna just what are you gonna do? Just turn the whole stream off? You're gonna what are you doing? Okay. CH says he's calling Best Buy the Geek Squad, and then they're gonna be at his house in 10. Anyway, what's everybody drinking tonight? What's everyone brewing? Will says he brewed with wet hops. Okay, sounds good. Uh Will says he brewed with wet hops for the first time. Oh, he's brewing with wet hops for the first time tomorrow. Man, every year it just sneaks up on me and then comes and goes, and it's too late. So awesome that you got your hands on some hops. What is the protocol for getting wet hops? Is anybody else using wet hops this year? And where did you get them? And can we still get them? I feel like it's over, right? It's maybe the end of August or something like that. Patrick Sandy is brewing the tears of his enemies, maybe? Or drinking tears of his enemies? Ooh, Treehouse Julius. Yeah, what happened to Ross's hops, man? Ross still has the hops, but I think Ross is actually in Europe right now. I think. I should check on his Can anybody hear CH? I can hear you. I can hear you through Discord. Yeah, I can still hear you through Discord. I can't hear you in YouTube though. Yeah, so I think Ross is in Europe right now. He's like doing a bike tour across Belgium or something like that, as he would. Maybe he's riding his bike from France to Belgium, across France, southern France to Belgium. Pretty sure that's what he's up to. So Ross probably has a bunch of hops grounded behind his house, but we are not, unfortunately, not brewing with them. Garbage, but I think something happened to it. What's up, man? Yeah, I can hear you, but through Discord. CH is freaking out. He's yeah, right. CH, do you know some sign language?
Not really. You can hear me though, right?
CH Genus of Sign Language. Yeah, Discord.
Not really. I'm back. I'm fucking here.
Are you here?
Woo! We're in, dog. What's up,
There you
everybody?
go.
Hey, happy Wednesday, man. Sorry about that, Kyle. It looks like it's
All
not
good,
going to
dude.
work the way that we planned it. We tried to do it in real time because there is a delay with me pulling in screenshots from Discord and stuff like that. And we always talk about how we say and all that stuff too much when we look at the videos like we did earlier, because he doesn't know if I'm in the room or if I'm getting ready to go on a rant or vice versa. But this is what we got to work with. Kyle, thanks for being here, Braj.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and you got a
buddy.
brand new camera. Which model is that?
I got a Sony A7S III.
Is that like the $3,500 one?
It's not cheap, man, and I got it because, dude, here's the thing. I needed a
Look,
I needed a camera with autofocus.
I don't really like gear that much.
You know, I love the Panasonic GH5s. They're a little pricey as well, but like they're the Micro Four Thirds. They're smaller. They're light.
Crop sensor.
I love everything about them, but the autofocus doesn't work. It just does not work. So
autofocus is huge.
Yeah, so the Sony autofocus is rad, and then like Canon has a really good autofocus camera, but it overheats. Literally, you can't use it. You can't shoot in 4K for more than like 10 or 20 minutes and it overheats. I don't know why. It's just very confusing.
Yeah.
So
Sony for the win.
Yeah, Sony for the win.
Nice blurry background. Is that Meso talking to me? Oh no, because see, Kyle, if you move your head down, they can see. Watch it. Watch the autofocus go straight to the NBC girl. Actually, it didn't work.
Well, I gotta go the other way.
You gotta go the other way. There it is, just like that. That's autofocus right there. Yeah, I do hear a screech in here, but hey, this is what we're working with, what we got, man. And I'm glad everyone's here. We got 60 people, 10 minutes in. Chris Radiation, last week's super chatter. Much love you, Braj. I don't know if he's here, but him and Chris Vodka came on with Barbecue Larry. That was fun as shit.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of that. Yeah, I busted you guys. You were talking about, I think, giving away the pump that I sent you.
That was a couple weeks ago, but that's a true story. The free pump that you sent me. If you want me to use it for a video,
why wouldn't you use it?
Because I can pick everything up, and gravity is free and stuff. You know, I used to use pumps when I was doing 10-gallon batches, but I mean, I get it. It's cool. It's you feel like a commercial brewer, but if you could lift it up, I avoid using pumps. But they're good to have. Maybe you got a broken hand. Maybe you're in a wheelchair. I don't know. You never know.
Maybe you're weak. Maybe you're weak sauce.
Maybe I'm just a puss. All right, let me go over here. But we're good to go. I'm going to turn the fan on really fast. 1 second. It gets hot in here with all this electricity. So I'll be gone for about 5 seconds. Hold it down, Kyle.
All right, man. I'll hold it down for 5 seconds. Gravity's free IPA. CH's weak sauce IPA, giving that pump away. Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you definitely caught us on that. But no. Well, all Oz was talking about his pump had broken, and
was it one of our pumps?
I think so.
Damn. Really?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know that, but I mean, your pump is the same one that I've bought before off Amazon or eBay, right? It's not like a claw hammer pump, right?
No. So like that particular part we just sourced from somewhere, and we're like, okay, we need something that's good, reliable, that's like strong enough, but that's not overkill. And I've just seen like so many other pumps that I just feel are like just ridiculous overkill and not necessary. So, we're like, how do we want to invest all of the resources in a pump, or do we want to put it some other places? So
no, you have a good pump. I had the Anvil Foundry pump. I think I broke it after the second brew day. So I mean, anybody who's got an aquarium or something like that knows these things get clogged up, and when you're pumping 150-degree wort through it, it's a different story. So the way I kind of always looked at homebrewing is that if I can avoid anything from breaking or malfunctioning, I'm just going to kind of go that route, because sooner or later I've had electricity go out. I've had things break. I've had, I've been burned a million times with pumps, and it's a good thing to have. And it's a good, it's a thing you can also live without as a brewer. It's kind of one of those things where you talk to 10 different home brewers, you're going to get 10 different answers. Some people really like using pumps every single brew day.
True story.
True story, man.
Yeah.
But we're here, dude. We got some people in here tonight. I see Pony Pasture in the house out there in Virginia. What's up, Derek? Yeast in the Barrage, Gnome Brewing. We got some news. I wrote a couple things down, but I kind of want to do these kind of just makeshift, man. And while I was off the air, that was cool. You gave a good shout out to the Brew Show because that video was awesome. Even if you guys just want to watch the first minute, the rest of the video after that is boring as shit. I'm just kidding, but the first minute is like phenomenal production. It's very inspiring. And shout out to Trent. I'll throw that video in the chat here in a second. Matt Ushman put out content this week. I think Homebrew Apartment Steve did. Just Brewing. Homebrew Challenge is back. What's up?
When I watch the Brew Show videos, his videos, almost always the first thing I say, almost always I say out loud, God damn it.
I know.
Brew Show.
I want that.
How did you do that?
Us
How's that so good?
Us homebrewers aren't supposed to have good production, except for you, Clyde.
Yeah, man.
Kyle, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Saison, actually. This is lavender Saison that I brewed for a video that we haven't finished yet.
Okay. So who's doing
it's actually a crazy project.
With are you using Lawson a little bit? Is the band back together or what?
No. This is something that Nathaniel and I are doing this one. So yeah, long story short. Oh, what you got there? Yeah.
Dragon fruit kiwi margarita. Fruit tart series. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Long story short, a friend of mine out in Colorado lives next to like a legit, but a legit, literal, actual crypto billionaire. The dude who started the cryptocurrency Cardano. If you're into cryptocurrency, you'll know what that is.
I'm into.
But anyway, she reached out to this guy and said, "Hey, I think I'm your neighbor. My friend Kyle has a YouTube channel. He brews beer. I wanted to know if you would come over to my house and brew beer with Kyle for his YouTube channel."
Nice.
And I don't know why, but he said yes. So we flew out to Colorado and brewed beer with Charles Hoskinson from the Cardano cryptocurrency.
Sick, man.
It was pretty crazy. We were getting set up, and we get a call from his like assistant, and they said, "Hey, we're sending like the security pre-sweep team out. They'll be there in 10 minutes."
Okay.
And we're like, okay.
Somebody here is a somebody.
Yeah, exactly. So, so like a security guy comes out, he does a sweep of the property, and then like a black SUV pulls up with more security, and the dude gets out, and it was wild. So you'll see, the video is gonna be pretty crazy. But
looking forward to that.
Saison, we brewed it for that.
Looking forward to that. And somebody asked me, is there going to be any Homebrew for Life content? Yes, there is. I edited for about 6 hours the last couple days, and it felt good. Kyle, I know you've been texting me like, what's up, dude? Johnny Burnout over there on Homebrew for Life. And everyone gets it. Everyone goes through, it's just like going to the gym. You take a couple days off. It's just harder to get back into, and then, a week turns into a month, and then yada, yada, yada. But I've got a video coming out. It's like half San Diego vlog, half where kind of the craft beer status is in America. And it's kind of a cool video. It's going to kind of be cool because it's honest. It's going to kind of be a bad video for my friends in San Diego to see because, Kyle, it's been a trip living in Tennessee and California in the same year. And this is probably like the best adult education I've ever had in my life because I went from, pretty much one of the most expensive places in the world to one of the most affordable places in the world. And everything's cheaper out here except for beer. Beer's pretty much $7 a pint, whether you're in Knoxville or in San Diego. And I was in Europe a couple months ago, and San Diego's, it's as expensive, if not more, than Europe these days. And on paper, people would think, it should be, with labor and taxes and restrictions and payroll for sure. Beers in San Diego for pints should be like $11 or $12 a pint, and beers in Knoxville should be like $2 or $3. And I'll give you an example, like beer tenders alone, out here in Knoxville, if you get tips, minimum wage in Knoxville is like $7 or $7.50, and minimum wage in California is $15 an hour. And Kyle, you're an owner of a business. You understand payroll. and cost of labor every month better than probably anybody in here. And that's probably 99% of most businesses' biggest expense is just their labor, right? People on hourly and people on salary. And just for beer tenders alone, and beer tenders make the same money, you make $300 on a Friday night or $100 on a slow night. But in San Diego, if somebody's walking with $300, you still have to pay them almost $16 an hour. Minimum wage in Knoxville is $7.50, but if you get tipped, you make $2.13 an hour. So my buddies in San Diego that are paying their beer tenders, $16 an hour. On one side, it's kind of weird, right? Because if a guy walks with $300, do you really need to be paying him hourly? And on the other side, it's like, hey, we were dead that day, So what's the beer tender doing? He's just staring at Pokemon Go or Instagram the whole time. And I got to pay this fucker $16 an hour. Mm-hmm. People in San Diego, dishwashers are making $18 an hour. If he's making $18 an hour, how much is the cooks making? Like, how much is everybody else making? And it's very interesting that between Tennessee and California, beers are the same price. So pretty much on paper, like the 10-second elevator speech is like for California, San Diego breweries, which oversaturated, the bubble burst, you have to be moving like 2 to 3 times as much beer as somebody in Knoxville to break even with a brewery in Knoxville. So it's really eye-opening, and it's kind of a video with that too. So I've got friends in San Diego that own breweries that are probably not going to be stoked on this video, but it's the real world. And at the end of the day, there's better and way worse places to open up a brewery in this nation by far. And that's kind of tying in with the San Diego vlog.
Right. Yeah. So, dude, there's something called the living wage. Are you familiar with that?
No, but I'm interested in it, and it might help me out for this video.
Yeah. So, like, the living wage is
Thank
a
you,
number.
Will. Sorry, I got a member up there. What did you say, Kyle?
I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, sorry.
I don't
Go
really
ahead.
like beer that
No, I just want to give a shout out. I got a member in here. That was Big Willie style, man. Much love you, Barrage. Okay, so the living wage. Let's hear about it.
Yeah, so it's basically an hourly rate that's based on the living cost in a particular area. So the living wage for Knoxville versus Asheville versus San Diego is going to be different. And I actually have it pulled up here. So the living wage, let's just start with Knoxville. It's $14 an hour. $14.92 an hour. And this is a calculation done by MIT.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say like they've put some thought into this. And,
San Diego's gonna be like $40 an hour.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Knoxville is and this is just like one adult, no children. Living wage in Knoxville,
right.
$14.92 an hour. Asheville, $19.60 an hour.
Let me guess these. Let me guess these cities. Give me another
Asheville.
city, but I want to guess one. Because I would say Johnson City is probably a little bit cheaper than Knoxville. Is it? If it's
that's a good question. Yeah, I mean,
probably
I
like
can pull that up
$12.50 an hour
as well. That's a really good question.
Because I'm thinking about buying a house there. You're thinking about moving some stuff there, and
dude, buy a house there, and you can help me out at the warehouse from time to time.
Sure, man. We'll be like the real life. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, sure.
Brewery YouTube channel.
1453 is
so
Johnson City.
That's Knoxville. Okay.
1453 Johnson City, about $15 an hour Knoxville, and then San Diego living wage is $22.74, which seems a little low.
That's with roommates, bro. You can't live off $22 an hour unless you have like some homie hookup or you have 2 roommates.
Yeah, so that's almost $50,000 a year in San Diego, but that's just like the bare minimum. This is what it costs to just basically, make all your expenses actually.
And that's this is still kind of a generalization. I mean, I was literally just in San Diego, and actually the gas was cheaper because you always kind of want to look at, I don't think gas really kind of like determines whether we're in a recession or not, but the housing prices definitely do, right? If the housing prices are low, we're probably in a recession. If the houses are high, I don't know, because I feel like the houses are low in Tennessee right now, but they're still going up in San Diego. So maybe I'm wrong, but it's just a trip, man. Living in San Diego. and then going to the South in the same year, like everyone thinks they know about it or like, yo, they're good at the cost of living. But when you see it and you live it, it's very interesting to see what gets cheaper, housing, energy, bills, car registration. And obviously the grocery stores are the same. But beer, it's just weird. And beer's like this crazy thing because it's the least essential item on planet Earth. Like nobody really needs beer. And you would just think it would have more of a market value between places that have more money and less money, but it doesn't. It's like this weird kind of static, non-essential item that's popular as hell almost all around the world.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. And the video will be okay. I'm looking forward to it. And I might have to run it by a couple of my buddies in San Diego before I play it, just because I don't want to burn any bridges. But it's an honest video. And Kyle, it's just weird, man. Like even going up to Oregon for the first time, because in San Diego, you own a brewery, and more often than not, you can only sell beer. You have to close the doors at 10 o'clock, and that's it. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. Like you could have a line out the door, shoulder to shoulder, but at 10 o'clock, everybody's got to go. And it's like, damn, dude, if I owned a brewery in a different state or a different county and I could be open for another hour, we could have done another 1,000 in sales. You know, like you go up to Oregon and every brewery up there, they have a liquor license. They have a wine license. You know, in San Diego, it's like, no wine, no liquor. Everybody get the fuck out of here at 10 o'clock. It's really like the worst and hardest and most difficult place to own a brewery. Like everybody thinks about, oh, I want to open up a brewery. Let's hone in 7 IPA recipes, or we'll think about a cool theme or a cool gimmick. It's like, that's the last thing you need to worry about. The first thing you need to worry about is like, how much freedom do you have? Can you stay open until midnight? Those millions of women that are going to come in over the years, can you sell them wine at $12 a pop? Because there's so many people in San Diego that are like, oh, I want a glass of wine. You're like, I can only sell you beer. And they just don't get anything. I'm like, that's a $12 sale. That's a $12 shitty box of Franzia, the cheapest box Chardonnay that we could just upsell the fuck out of. And we can't do it because California has the most regulations. And this isn't like a political, like virtual signaling blue state versus red state. Like Oregon, it's wild, wild west up there, man. This is about like, there's politics in this, but there's a lot of economics in these politics, you know? And
yeah, man.
So I don't know.
Alcohol laws are just, they're ridiculous. And it's really surprising that it's really surprising that it's more restrictive in California versus the Bible Belt, you know, in Tennessee and North Carolina. I mean, you know, there are plenty of dry counties in this area versus, you know, I doubt there are many, if any, in California, right? It seems just to be more freewheeling out there. I could be wrong about that. I'm just kind of talking out of my ass. But
no, but California is not Bible Belt. I just got some love from Pony Patcher. I got a super chat from him, man. Much love, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Hope all is well in Tennessee. It is, man. Welcome back, Derek. We got Roswell's in here too. San Diego isn't Bible Belt. It's not religious. Mm-hmm. It's just the most, it's got the least amount of freedom in regards to just like regulations and permits. You know, everything is just, we kind of want to just slap fines on everybody to, you know, generate money. That's what it seems like. I mean, why else would you care if this city sells beer till 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock? It's the 2 a.m. shit that you should be worried about. It's the dive bars in Tennessee can stay open till 3 a.m., but breweries in San Diego have to shut down at 10 o'clock. You know, 10 o'clock, breweries are actually the safest bet. You know, no one's slamming shots. No one's drinking Long Island iced teas.
That's true.
They just have the most regulations, man. It's fucking weird, man.
That is weird.
It's super weird. So if I were to ever open up a brewery, and I do want to one day, a little 3-barrel system, I want the most freedom. I want to sell people wine. I go to breweries out here in Tennessee. They're legitimately... They don't have a bar back there, but they'll have a bottle of vodka and a bottle of bourbon. And when the Tennessee Volunteers play, you can do a Boilermaker for $12. I want to be able to sell people that Boilermaker for $12 without somebody saying you can only sell your $7 beers. I want to sell middle-aged women cheap, shitty Chardonnay for $12. You know, so San Diego can't do that. And you got the fucking, 300 breweries in San Diego, the most oversaturated place on planet Earth. There's just a reality of where you open your business up, man. And I get it now. I think I get it. Maybe I'll get it more in a year, but there's just, first and foremost, you want to open up a brewery, start a business, like go to a good place where you just have more fucking say. So I don't know.
Dude, you got to stand up for what you believe in, CH. Boilermakers and Chardonnay, man.
Boilermakers and Chardonnay, man. Boilermakers and Chardonnay. That's got to be some like Jimmy Buffett song or something, man. We got 100 people in here, though, Kyle. You ready for an NBC?
Yeah, buddy.
We got an NBC, man. What up, chat? What up, Gnome Brewing? Zach Pearson, Bry Guy Brews, Sunset Hound. He was out there in Texas with us, man. Josh is the goddamn man. I had a really good time with him and Aliaz and Gnome. And we didn't brew. We thought we were going to brew on the Clawhammer system, but we just got way too fucked up Friday night. And when these guys come out and visit me, we're not going to make the same mistake. Like, I want to brew with Gnome and Aliaz, and we're talking about I want to do the orange creamsicle video again, but I want to do the Hornindal yeast from Omega and it's creamsicle milkshake IPA. Or I'd probably get rid of the word milkshake at this point. I don't think you need that. But we're going to brew when they come out here in a little bit.
The word milkshake or the lactose?
Both. Dude, whatever's in there doesn't matter anymore. Put whatever words on the label that sells. If milkshake isn't cool, get rid of it. If lactose isn't cool, get rid of it. Vanilla's kind of weird because when you put vanilla on a beer in a can, some people do ask, like, is there lactose in it? But I think more often than not, people get stoked off the word vanilla as a marketing tool, I would think. Todd Porter, CH tried to brew? Unlikely. Smart man. Wow.
Back off, war child.
Saw
Seriously.
right through that.
Yeah. But I can't brew back to, I'm doing a little side hustling these days. I'm trying to get that W-2 money. I can't really brew. I can't really edit videos, and I can't really work 32 hours a week. I got to kind of hone on something. So right now it's just kind of my backlog. But at least the Homebrew for Life channel will be back next week, and the week after that it'll be an Austin blog. So, and then from that it'll be the fucking Keezer, and then the Clawhammer system, and then we're back cooking with grease, man. I promise, Kyle.
Sweet. Well, I mean, hey, dude, you can crank out the travel vlogs all day long. I love those, dude.
Thank you, dude.
I was out here in the living room in the office one day, and Emmett was just losing it back in his office.
Watching my travel vlogs?
Yeah, he was watching one of your travel vlogs, and he said,
Was it the
this is
Hangover one?
brilliant."
Nice.
It was the last one you did.
Josh Wiseman? The Prague one.
No. Yeah, it was the Prague travel vlog. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
I mean, he loved it. Yeah, we watched all of them. Like, actually, we threw it on the TV out in the living room after that and watched it again.
We'll get one going this month, brother. We're going to be seeing each other soon.
I watched that Hangover montage in the Prague vlog literally 4 or 5 times. I showed it to a couple people. I thought that was fucking brilliant.
Were you just feeling like you just let the entire world down and all these people that don't even know you fucking hate you and they're crying?
You nailed it. Because you have that. I mean, you're just like at the bottom. Rock bottom sometimes the next day.
The world from Never Ending Stories all falling apart, and you got to get your life together.
And just how you threw that in there and put it all together. It was so good.
Thanks, man.
So good.
Thanks, man. I got a super chat here from Will, man. Love the passion tonight. San Diego was a great place, but it sucks. Glad to be home in my fields. Will D, San Diego will always be home for me. It's the greatest place, and I mean, I'm so fortunate that I was able to grow up in San Diego, and it's like the safest, most sheltered. I mean, I pretty much grew up in like upper middle class white suburbia looking back, and I loved it. But San Diego's got 2 types of people. Working class. You either own a house, and I got another super chat from Ron Barnes, man. Much love. Thank you, Ron Barnes. We'll do an NBC here in a second. This thing's rocking right now. We got 100 people. But here's how San Diego works. You've got 2 types of people that live there. There's people that have, like my dad. he had property there in the 80s, so house money makes house money, and he's been able to live in San Diego his whole life. But, you know, my dad retired. I think he made somewhere around 6 figures as an engineer. There's no way you can get into San Diego now. He was just able to like snowball that house money from the 80s and keep it going, which is awesome. Fucking awesome. And then there's people like me. There's a lot of people like me that you're just going to have roommates and pay rent forever, and you'll never be able to buy a house. That's how San Diego works.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? You want to do that forever, or do you want to leave California? So that was it. That was all she wrote.
How much does a beer cost in San Diego?
I'm telling you, man, it's like $7 or $8, dude. It's the same price out here. I mean, I've got my watering holes out here. Like, you know, your places where you can get a $5.50 pint or a $4.50 pint. But
yeah,
dude,
it's like $6 plus in Nashville. You
$6?
remember when, you know, you go to the airport in like
San Diego
2000 and the beers would be $5, and they're just, you know, even as a 20-some-year-old kid at that point, there's no way I would pay $5 for a beer. That was just absolutely
$5
absurd.
an hour. Yeah, I mean, it didn't make sense. Did you ever look at that? Were you ever, you know, working at Home Depot or whatever, you know, 25-year-old kid working some shit job, and I'd make, you know, $8 an hour, and I'd go to the bar and I'd get a Sculpin. It would be like $5, and I'd tip her $3. I was like, dude, I literally just worked an hour at the shittiest job to have this one beer, and she just got a $3 tip for literally doing nothing. Did you ever think of that? Like, terms of like, you didn't even look at money anymore. You looked at like how shitty your job was, like your hourly rate converted over like, damn, I've got to work like 8-hour shift at Pizza Hut to get a pair of black nude skateboarding shoes. Like, that's how much this shoes cost. It's giving up a Saturday, 8 hours. Fucking hate my job. I hate my life.
Yeah,
just to get shoes.
I was definitely there at one point. I remember when I first moved to Asheville, actually, I was just working construction. In fact, I had 2 construction jobs, and I was still just barely getting by. I went to the grocery store one day, and I saw this plastic pitcher, pretty shitty plastic pitcher. And it was like, I don't know, $5 or $6. And I was thinking, man, I want to buy this pitcher and make some lemonade. And then I was thinking, but man, I'm so broke. I can't even afford this $5 pitcher.
That's 2 hours trenching when it's 90 degrees out, bro.
Yeah. Then I was thinking, but man, this would really increase the quality of my life if I could make some lemonade. So I bought the pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
no, man, the value of money and how you interpret things is the most real thing on planet Earth, man. It is the most real shit ever, and that's why I've always poured beer, you know. And you know, I don't really homebrew anymore, and I'm kind of this poser right now, and that's totally fair for everyone to, you know, call me out. I call myself out, but
Josh Weissman's got a video queued up, man. He's ready
to rock and roll.
Yeah.
But Maury would always bitch. He'd be like, "Dude, you guys make like $250 a night to pour beer like a monkey, and I'm back there brewing like double brew days." I'm like, "Hey, man, pick the life you live, bro. Like, hey, pour beer on the side. Everybody would love to have you as a bartender, dude." But if I worked in the back of the house, B, I wouldn't make as much money, and C, you probably wouldn't want to homebrew anymore, right? What's Chip say from Chop and Brew? Starting a brewery is the best way to kill your favorite hobby. And I get it.
Right.
I get it. We got some love, man. Gnome Brewing in the house has gifted 5 memberships, man. Much love, Braj. Thanks, Gnome. Cheers, Braj. So we're only 40 minutes in here. Feels like 5 minutes because my shit was down forever. But this is Kyle from Clawhammer. If you watch his channel, you probably watch him. We got a link to his channel in the bio. And we're hanging out. We got Jesse coming into town next week from Still It. Give both those channels a subscribe button smash.
Back off,
yeah, man. Jesse's coming all the way from New Zealand.
He's a Kiwi. He's a Kiwi.
Jesse from Still It, Chase the Craft. He's got like 300,000 subscribers on YouTube or something. Distills, makes his own whiskey.
Is he on a good one right now? Is he putting out content? Sorry, Jesse.
Let's check in on him.
I'm kidding. You know what? It doesn't really matter if you subscribe to somebody or not. Because if you're watching something, YouTube's still going to recommend it. And having recommended videos is way bigger than actually, you know, being subscribed or not subscribed to. Hey, Bruce Show, you still here? Yes, sir. We got to get the Brucio on here.
Back off, war child. Seriously.
Much love, Will. Thank you, man. Rotten Barnes, man. Much love. When I get the homebrewing thing back, I just get stressed out with backlog, and I still got to buy a keezer, and I got to do a grain to glass video. That's what kind of burned me out. And while you're getting burned out, we don't make too much money on our YouTube channels, Kyle. But I texted you my money the other day. Everything's like, you either get 3. How does YouTube work? You either get a green thumbs up, which means you're going up. You get a green check, that means that's about normal. Yeah. And then you get gray thumbs downs. And Homebrew for Life is just like, do, like all Fs. F plus.
Trending down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subscribers all the way down. Money down. Average watch hours.
So
boom.
I was thinking about this today. So while I was watching the Brew Show video, I loved that intro to that video, and I watched the rest of that video. But I was thinking, like, that's not what YouTube wants people to publish. They want you to say, how do you make habanero hot sauce, and then just make the habanero hot sauce. Or like, how do you make an easy IPA, and then just make the IPA, and it's just more of like a, like a Lynda.com, or just like
treehouse.com.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not really what I watch videos. Like, I watch videos. I like to learn things, but I like to be entertained as well. So I really enjoyed that intro by the Brew Show, but I'd almost guarantee that that's gonna probably like hurt the prospects of that video doing really well.
Well,
what's that, man? What's that beer?
It's a pickle beer. But Kyle, what we're doing right now is the word of mouth on Trent's video. I don't think we've ever talked about anybody's video as much as we're talking about Trent so far. We're only 40 minutes in, so anybody who's not watched that video, it's not, I think for a beer community, I don't think there's too many people watching, making hot sauce at home. And it's a great video in regards to, like, maybe this could get outside of your community and get more unique shine. But the video is fucking phenomenal, man. And again, it's one of those videos where I just don't know how it was done. It was like a magic trick,
I mean, the Lazy Susan, apparently. Who would have fucking thought?
I was freaking out and blowing fuses when you guys were talking about that. Catch me up on that, Lazy Susan?
Yeah, so he said this is what he wrote in the chat, man. He says he pulled a Lazy Susan out, basically like a little like disc that spins around and the camera was stationary, and he spun but the camera stayed still.
Damn, Trent.
So, what's this? Shameless plug. Yeah, there you go. But check it out though.
Shameless Plug IPA. Dude, that's such a good name for a beer. Shameless Plug. Shameless Plug IPA. Yeah, shout out to Trent, man. And his shameless plug right here. Elementary in the house, man. What's up, Brian? How are you, Brian? What's up, Teach? I got a question for Kyle. I got a couple things written down. I mean, we don't really need questions, man. It's just kind of flowing as is. How was your Europe trip, though? That wasn't even the question, but how was your Europe trip?
Man, my Europe trip was ridiculous. It was awesome. I spent an entire week in London really with nothing to do but drink beer and like gather some B-roll for some videos I was making. So I wanted to make a video about cask beer. I went over there with my wife. She was there at a conference with some work mates, and so they were running around at some air show all day for 5 or 6 days or something. And literally, I was just walking around London by myself drinking beer, and then got to spend a day drinking beers with my new homies at the Craft Beer Channel. Literally,
Johnny and Bobby.
Yeah, Johnny and Brad. Literally almost lost my foot in the subway door at the end of that day. I was pretty messed up and almost lost my shoe. But made it home. Made a couple of cool videos. The cask beer video is not done. And then went to France and then basically drank wine for a week. Damn, and dude, I don't know if I told you about this, CH, but I did a Welch's wine video a while back where I made wine with Welch's grape juice, and
told me about it. I watched it. That was with your wife. I think it did pretty good. Yeah, it was a great video. I'm gonna steal the idea.
So like it wasn't good wine, but it wasn't bad wine. It was surprisingly not bad. So I was thinking, you know what would be ridiculous is if I made that Welch's wine again, and then I took it with me to France because the place we went to here in France is literally one of the best wine and food regions in France, which really means it's like one of the best wine and food regions in the world.
Right.
And I wanted to serve it to people on the street to see what they thought about it, which I did.
I didn't think you had the balls to do that, man. That's like full CH mode.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking, man? I was thinking next time I do this, I'm bringing CH with me, and I'm just
down.
gonna film him.
I'm down.
I'm gonna film him. Yeah, dude.
Just film me getting
it was
my
so
fucking
stressful.
ass kicked by by all the regulars and locals, man. Sign me up.
Look, I'm gonna be honest.
It was.
I don't
You know
really
what?
like beer that much.
We got to do this now. But anyway,
All right.
so I met somebody over there who is from America. She's an actual like sommelier, right? So she has wine credentials, and she's really well known in the area. And she's known outside of the area as well. And she has a YouTube channel herself. It's Wine Don Caroline. You should check that out. But she's super funny and super cool. And she introduced me to a bunch of other people. She introduced me to another sommelier, a French sommelier, the owner of a wine PR company who also writes for Wine Enthusiast. They introduced
Bay
me to the
Area.
owner of a wine bar that serves literally like $10,000 bottles of wine. And they also introduced me to the owner of a winery out in the countryside. And they all tried this shitty wine. And they loved it. They didn't love the wine. They loved the premise of this shit wine.
Let me edit this video for you.
All right. Yeah, dude, I'm game at this point because I have so much footage to edit right now.
Just send me 4 NBCs of apartments for life. Hoppy lager.
All right.
No, that's rad, man. I'm stoked
Yeah,
for
so
you, dude. See,
that was a trip.
This is why you need to get your own stream going, because this is good. This is easy to do. It's super fun. There's 100 people in here right now, and you can't really. I mean, it takes a month to edit these videos and go to Europe and stuff like this, but you can just hop on and just talk about it, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So what's up with the Clawhammer stream?
Oh,
got the
I mean, we were
camera.
just talking about it today. I wouldn't be able to keep to the schedule that you do, but I'd be interested in it. It's a good time, man. It's like I enjoy. I mean, I actually enjoy watching the stream as well and hearing what you guys talk about, just seeing what people say in the chat. I mean, I really pay attention.
We're just talking
it's-
shit
it's-
about your pumps right when you clock in. These motherfuckers, man.
I was kind of lurking there
That
for
was
a minute.
awesome. And you're the
And,
man in that regard, because
Caught you.
I wasn't talking shit. I just said if all you guys needs another pump, then I'll give it to him. And at the end of the day, like, you can brew with or without a pump. But that was funny.
Yeah, totally.
And you've talked about Brian, his shit crapping out on a live stream and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
And it's
totally.
cool that you don't
That
take
was
yourself
awesome.
too serious, because I know that there's homebrewing manufacturers out there that have giant egos. We've talked about this off camera and stupid shit that other brands have said. And
Right.
you're definitely not that dude. And I'm not just saying that because we're live, but I've chilled with you, and I consider us friends at this point. And you literally, like, you remind me of like a very passionate, you have drive and entrepreneurship, but you've got this hippie vibe in you where you kind of just don't give a fuck if somebody says like, this video was whatever, or this didn't work or whatever. It's not going to keep you up at night.
I mean, yeah, you try to not let keep me up. But I mean, I am concerned if somebody has a problem with our, equipment. Like Emmett's been out of town for about a week now, so I'm doing all the emails and everything.
How's that?
And I've hated actually.
Yeah.
Just-
Makes you
I mean,
appreciate
it's just
Emmett.
a lot.
He's up
I mean,
for
it's
raise.
a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, I literally at one point while he was gone, I was up to almost 400 unanswered emails. And for
You guys are that popular?
dude,
I'm
we
just
have,
kidding.
yeah.
Dun-dun-ch. I'm just kidding.
I mean, you just don't. It's everything, man. It's like suppliers and my
Customer
freaking accountant
service,
and customers.
The dumbest
and people
questions
want,
ever, I'd imagine, right? Like, how do you turn it on? Where's the
some-
plug?
sometimes. But today I literally had to take a controller apart 3 times today for 3 different emails. So someone was asking a question
Look,
about
I'm gonna be honest. I
our
don't really like beer
controller,
that much.
and I took it apart 3 different times. So like, you know, when you sell something at scale, you
What is
a
that?
certain
Retail?
like sell something at scale. Like you can sell 10 of something and like maybe nobody will have a problem with anything. So
Okay.
like everything works out great. Then you sell 1,000 of something,
Right.
right?
It's
And
inevitable.
say like
Yeah.
10%
Right.
of your like something has an issue.
Sure.
That's 100 people you have to deal with, you know?
Right.
So that's just what I mean by like at scale. So
Right. I
like a
didn't know that.
couple of
No, no, that's awesome. Makes a lot of sense. Like for recalls and cars and shit like that, it's got to be a fucking absolute nightmare for whatever Volvo or who's ever got the shitty transmission of the year.
Yeah, so like today, we had a couple like a guy was like, "Hey man, I can't get the lead off your bucket. I think your bucket's screwed up. I think your bucket mold is wrong. You sold me a bucket with a lid that's too tight and I
Right.
can't get it off." And I said, "No, dude. The bucket's not too tight. It's just you have to put it on and take it off a certain way. You have to use a bucket opener unless you're the Incredible Hulk or something." And then, I literally like shot a video and sent it to the guy. I actually shot a video and put it on Instagram. If you follow us on Instagram, I made that video because the dude was asking about the
Wow.
bucket. 3 different people had like they had technical issues with their controller. So like a couple of little parts failed, which I think is a cool thing about our controller. Nathaniel and I were talking about this today. Like, there are like all of the most common things that happen to our controllers, and this is like very few of the parts in our controllers are like custom made. It's like we have a custom made board and like a custom top and everything. But like if with any electronic device, um, like this key fob, it has a ton of just like standard off the
Third
shelf
party. Yeah.
electronics that they put together into a product. And that's the same thing with our controller. And so the most common stuff that, we see with our controllers, like the GFCI's crap out. But like that's a really important safety feature that we want to include because we feel like people have to be protected. Like we don't want people shocking themselves while they're brewing. So the GFCIs fail. So every once in a while, a power switch just stops working, and then also the fuses. Like you have to use a very particular type of fuse. Number one, so like we want people to get fuses from us and not use crappy stuff from Home Depot. And then if the fuse does blow and you put a crappy fuse in there, it's definitely going to
Wow.
blow again, and then it can actually screw up the fuse holder. So basically, like, it just takes forever going through this stuff because, like, I'm literally like, all right, I got to literally get a pair of calipers out to measure the little spade connector inside the controller that hooks onto the fuse holder because the guy was replacing it and it was messed up. And then I'm like looking through tables on electrical part connectors and like sending him the link to the thing on Amazon. But yeah, it's like it's if
But
you
you made
do
a video talking about this, and you were like, sooner or later, if you use something enough, it's going to crap out. And
Yeah, totally.
And in your defense, I've broken a grain father, an anvil foundry, and a mash and boil. And it's funny because people will watch my anvil foundry review video that was probably 2 years ago, maybe
yeah
give or take a couple months. And they're like, "Yo, CH, you sold me on it. Like, I'm going to buy it." I'm like, "Dude, I make these video, in Clawhammer's defense, I've never brewed with Clawhammer's system electric wise. I've brewed on the kettle, but like you can't really
Yeah.
break that. It's a great kettle. It's got
Right.
a tri-clamp fitting, and that's great if you ever want to go, back and forth between electric or propane. But I've never brewed on your actual signature system, right? That's fair to say. Your 10-gallon system
Yeah.
is your flagship.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's just kind of inevitable that sooner or later
Something's
you're-
going to break.
Yeah, you're talking
100%.
you're talking about
Yeah.
electricity and water and beer and heat. Like this is fucking common sense that it's not going to last 30 years. Maybe the boil kettle might, but maybe it might. But at the end of the day, like it's electric because it's convenient. But at conveniency, there's going to be a cost of shit that can go wrong. And it doesn't matter if
Yeah.
it's you or Grainfather.
Right. And one of the things I really love about homebrewers in the homebrew community is that
What kind of DIYers?
like they're totally DIY community. They're totally cool if you're like, hey, here's the thing, man.
Chris Radiation in here.
All right, the thing that's wrong with your controller is a 30-cent switch. Okay, now I can send you an entire new controller. that's going to cost me a lot of money, and that's going to take you. It's going to take more time for you because I'm going to wait for you to send your controller back, and I'm going to send you a controller.
Right.
Or I can send you the Switch, and you can literally replace it in less than 5 minutes with the Phillips screwdriver, and I will send you pictures, video. I'll talk you through it, and almost everybody is like, all right, cool, I'm down, let's do it. And if they haven't done it before, most people are down to learn something new, which is really cool. And then that's really an opportunity also for like us to have good customer service, I guess. I'd rather it all just to work and we don't have any issues,
Right.
but I feel like as long as we take care of people, we get a lot of compliments from people in that regard.
You've gotten a lot of compliments. Even before I came out to Asheville, there's people in the chat talking about how Emmett is just like salt of the earth. He's on top of it. But at the end of the day, you sell an electric brew system. Like, things are supposed to go wrong. Like, we live in a world where people buy 5 of the same thing on Amazon. Whatever one fits, we keep it, and then we send 4 back, which is probably the worst fucking thing ever for the environment. But that's just the world we live in. Like,
right.
You sell something that's like pretty vulnerable to have something, anybody who's collected tools or batteries, whether it's, I swear by DeWalt or Milwaukee or Makita or Hilti, sooner or later, this battery's going to flare out, or this grinder's not going to work, or this skill saw is going to kick back, or this is like, it's just inevitable, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 100%. Yeah. Our lives changed dramatically when we started selling the electric controller, because, prior to that, when we were just selling, solid metal parts, I mean, it's pretty easy to deal with the customer support there. And we were making that stuff too. And like, that was stuff that we had complete control over, the copper parts.
In theory, what's the safest thing to sell if you want to sell stuff to homebrewers outside of a kettle? Probably like a burner, but then there's burners that try to get too fancy. It's like, dude, who wants to buy a $200 burner?
No way, dude. that would be like the least safe thing to sell, right? Because you don't want someone like propane, like very highly explosive, man. Volatile.
I'm talking about something that with longevity. Like, this is a burner. Like, barbecue burners last forever. Like, burners.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah. Like, this is going to be out in the rain. This is going to be outside. I'm talking about something that we're not going to have a million people calling and asking 1,000 dumb questions. Like, how do I turn this on?
I mean, something with no moving parts, just like you're saying, the kettle.
Electricity. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, all you have to worry about is, UPS dropping it and denting the
shit that's
fitting
out of your
in,
hands.
which literally also happened today. So
What do you mean?
somebody hollered at me like, yo, I just spent like a lot of money on this, and the inch and a half tri-clamp fitting ferrule comes out of the bottom of the kettle, like it was dented in maybe a quarter of an inch, and we packed that as well as we can, like
It's
within
out of your
reason,
control, man. This is
yeah,
shit you
and
can't
I'm like,
control. Yeah, which
and
is
I
a
want to
bummer.
say, and I want to say, like, well, I
Look,
mean,
I'm gonna be honest.
I've
I don't
packed
really
that
like
pretty
beer that
well,
much.
and I
Right.
didn't drop it. I know it didn't look like that when it left,
Right.
but I'm like, all right, here's the deal, man. I can send you a new kettle, and like, we'll solve it that way, or I can just give you a discount. And like 9 times out of 10, people are like, okay, yeah, I'll take the discount. So, which is fine. I get it. You spend $1,000 on something, you don't want to show up with a huge dent in it.
Do you
I
have
get
to
it.
factor that into your
Understand.
scale, or do you have to factor that into like third-party scale? Like, this is like almost shit that we just can't control. Like, this has nothing to do with us. There's guys that literally are kicking boxes over the fence because they don't want to type in the code to go through. They saw a dog and they just throw the shit over the fence.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly,
would
like,
be
that's
me.
not something that we've ever built in, and we probably should.
Like grocery stores. My buddies that work at grocery stores, they have a thing that they call what's it called? Like when shit just goes bad, or things they put out as free samples. It's called scares. It's not. There's something they just have to account for. It's like 2% of all the things that we buy, we just can't sell because
Right.
it either goes
Yeah, I don't
bad
know.
or God, what's it called? Somebody help
Not
me
sure.
out. Somebody help me. Spoilage. Shrink or spoilage.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure.
You just have
Yeah,
to
that
account
makes
for
sense.
things not working. It's never going to be 100 out of 100. There's no way. Shit, I try to sell 10 people t-shirts. One guy comes back, he's like, it was 2 sizes too small. I'm like, fuck, man. And he's in here blowing up the chat with it. I'm like, damn. Yeah. And like, people see, bad news travels so much faster than good news. And
Yeah,
it really does,
totally.
man. No one's like, hey, I love that new video. Or people are like that, or like, hey, I love. my new T-shirt. It's just the guy that's like, I got screwed over. I got to go on the internet. I just got to let people know. And I can't control the T-shirts, man. It's all set up through Teespring and third party. And I don't wish that on anybody. I've been on both sides of it, but it's, what do you call it? It's to scale. You know, it's inevitable. It's
yeah, exactly. It's inevitable.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna hit the head. Can you hold the chat down for a second?
Yeah,
Kyle,
sure.
are you
No
even
problem,
drinking
man.
tonight? Or what's going on over there?
I am. Yeah, I was actually just thinking. When you come back from the bathroom, I need to get another beer. So
Sounds great. BRB.
it's all good though. Yeah. Chat time. Yeah. It's called shrinkage. Yeah. So anyway, what's going on, everybody? What's everybody drinking now? If Climber makes an ESB with controller on the pot, I will buy it. What does that mean? I got to get logged into my other account so I can use my Happy Hour Homebrew for Life emoji feature. Kyle, did I hear you said that you used to brew with Brad Clark? Oh yeah, BC. Yeah, from Athens. I had never brewed with him. I actually once borrowed some, I think a couple kegs from him back in the day in Asheville. But Patrick Sandy, tell me what BC is up to these days. I bet Emmett will know. He's a dude. He worked at Jackie O's in Southeast Ohio. If you're familiar with that brewery, they're doing really well. And he moved on to do his own thing, and I hear he's doing really well too. Kyle, do you recommend doing a crawfish boil on your system? Hell yeah, man, go for it. We've done a sous vide before, but we wanted to do some more sous vide stuff, but then like the second sous vide I did with it didn't come out as good as the first one.
We talked about this. Yeah, that sucks. Can you hear me, Kyle?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What are you gonna drink?
I'm gonna grab a beer. I'm gonna grab a beer real quick.
What are you gonna get? I think. Oh, dude, I've been waiting this whole week to drink this beer. But what are you gonna go for?
Well, what do you mean? What do you got going on? Drink it.
I had this beer last week, and I wanted to save one of them for tonight. Have you ever heard of the brewery called Bell's?
Bell's in Michigan?
Yeah, Comstock, Michigan.
Yeah,
Yes,
Bell's.
you've heard of it, dude.
Hell yeah.
Worst
Wait, CH, have you not heard of Bell's?
Never heard of
before?
Bell's. Never heard of Bell's.
What?
Swear to God. Well, it looks
Bells.
right here, brother. Can you see it? It might be a 5-second delay.
Let me see.
Two-Hearted Ale, American IPA.
CH, you have never drank a Two-Hearted Ale American IPA before.
In San Diego, absolutely not. And out here, I had one of them, and I was like, fuck, this reminds me of Deschutes. This reminds me of Fresh Squeezed or Pine Drops.
Man,
and I was looking at this, I was like, this looks like
the
the shittiest goddamn branding ever, which makes me love them even more. It's like the cup from The Last Indiana Jones. Like, Jesus was a carpenter. He grabs the shittiest one, and it's the best one.
Okay, so Bell's Brewery's been around for 1985, and everybody who lives in the Midwest,
Love it.
I mean, yeah, like the eastern part of the Midwest, I guess, would know Bell's Brewery.
No, we don't get this in San Diego, man, and I would know. Yeah, and I would know. So, I mean, this is kind of like the fish thing is pretty much like Sculpin, but the exact opposite. Sculpin's fish, I mean, their branding is fish, but it's so vibrant, and every color is a new beer and stuff like that. I looked at this beer and I was like, this is just not going to work. And I tried it and I was like, this is probably the best beer I've had in Knoxville. This is
I love Two-Hearted.
All right, so Two-Hearted Ale, American IPA.
Yeah.
Brewed and bottled, Comstock, Michigan. Centennial, brewed with 100% Centennial hops, which is what does Sierra Nevada use? It's Cascade. I get the C's confused.
We did sort of a Two-Hearted Ale clone video a couple years ago.
It's a great beer.
It turned out really well.
It's a great beer. Day in the life knows what's up, man. Will knows what's up. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to grab a beer real quick.
Yeah, hell yeah, you're going to get a beer.
I'll be right back.
In the meantime, I'm going to...
Just say it!
They recently just sold out. Broadford? Damn, that's a bummer, man. Kyle, you're not going to like that. All right, I've got that pickle beer taste in my mouth. It's kind of lingering. I don't want to cleanse it with this, but hashtag YOLO. Oh, it's fucking even better. God, it tastes like Skittles, man. It tastes like the Shoots Pine Drops. It tastes like a little kid's fruit roll-up. Who'd they sell out to? There it is. There it is. There she is. It's got a good color. It's got that kind of a... It's not like an amber, but it's got that kind of opaque, darker than a Yingling, lighter than a pale ale. Maybe it's just the light that I'm looking at. This is a good beer. Sad to see that they sold out, but you know, so many San Diego breweries didn't get that chance to sell out. They sold at the all-time low. Hold on. My sister. My sister wants to come on the stream. How do you guys feel about that? You guys want to see Elena Hardy? Kyle, you want to see my sister? She's super ugly. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Am I? All right, here we go. Kyle, can you hear me? So Kyle just showed up, looked at his face, made sure he was doing good, and then dipped out again, or what? What up, Roswell? Hope you're good, man. I know you watched that Leon Edwards fight, man. That was the best UFC fight I've probably ever seen in my entire life, man. That was incredible. That was something like Rocky Hollywood couldn't even pull off.
Wow.
I mean, that's what they do pull off, like the ultimate underdog story. Kyle, you here?
Yeah, buddy.
So somebody was saying that Bell's actually just sold out. And I'm saying
Yeah. Well,
to
yeah.
AB InBev or...
No, so they got acquired by the same company that acquired New Belgium. So
New
they
Belgium
are...
sold out.
Yeah, so New Belgium got acquired by Kirin Little Beverage World, which is owned by Suntory, a Japanese company. So you know the movie
Sapporo
Lost in
now-
Translation?
Yeah.
Suntory.
It's one of my favorite movies.
With Bill Murray. Yeah, so like that whiskey company that he reps in that movie, that's a real company.
The
That is
fake
a real
commercials?
company. That's a real company.
Shit,
And
man.
that's the
Look, I'm gonna be
company
honest.
that
I
bought
don't really like beer that much.
New Belgium and Bell's.
You know what? I used to get bummed out when people would sell out and stuff like that. But in the video that I'm coming out with on Wednesday, it's got a lot. I think it's like a 13-minute video. You know, pretty much the gold rush of the San Diego beer scene, you know, when it was the Wild Wild West, was pretty much 2010 through 2013. That was when people were, for the first time, actually going to breweries to drink beer. You know, you'd see Ballast Point and Stone in stores, but nobody was actually going to breweries. But Ballast Point and Stone started. Have you heard of Ballast Point and Stone West Coast IPA? I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. So those breweries both started in San Diego in 1996. They were way ahead of the market, but craft beer wasn't cool then. And one of the companies sold out in 2015. And one of the companies sold out 2 months ago, and we're talking a difference of $900 million.
Oh yeah, you mean in terms of the money that they
Sold
pulled
out
of the
for.
deal.
So sometimes it's good to sell out, you know?
Yeah, like Ballast Point sold for like $1 billion.
They sold for $1 billion to
Yeah.
Constellation. All you really need to know about Constellation is that they own Corona.
A lot of it.
They own
Yeah,
Pacifico
right.
and they own Negra Modelo. But dude, you want to hear how fucking hard Ballast Point is winning at the World of Life? They started in 96. They had Sculpin. It won GABF and IPA before people knew what GABF was. and it put Sculpin on the map. And it's a San Diego company, Point Loma. I was there 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Pretty much if you ever fly into San Diego and you keep just kind of going a little bit west, there's not too much over there because the airport's like pretty damn close to the downtown Pacific Ocean. Point Loma is phenomenal, and that's where Ballast Point was from. Stone was San Marcos, which is where I lived in North County, like almost 30 miles north, but still San Diego County. So check this out. Check fucking this out. Ballast Point sold out in late 2015 to Corona or Constellation for $1 billion. And everybody knew that Ballast Point won in that. And Constellation just like they bought super high. They bought at the highest you could buy. So you can only can go down from here.
Right.
And then 2016, they start Cutwater. They do their craft cocktails and they put them in cans. And it's kind of cool, whatever. But they sold that company to AB InBev in 2019. So guys from San Diego, in less than 5 years, not in less than 5 years, it started in 96. They sold their beer company for $1 billion, started a craft cocktail canned company called Cutwater, and sold that to AB InBev 4 years later, and are just fucking walking on water at this point. And Stone, who was like, we're never selling out yellow fizzy beers for pussies.
Yeah.
We're never doing this. Stone was like going through lawsuits and tasting rooms were shutting down. They're coming out with yellow fizzy beer now and hard seltzers now. Ballast Point and Stone are like the biggest staples in San Diego, like probably the biggest beers in all of like this craft beer movement. Maybe in the nation. I don't really know how it works in Boston and New York, but I'm not drinking, too many beers from Boston or New York. And one of them just went so high up and one of them just went so high down. And what I'm trying to say is like both of them sold out. And sometimes it's good to just, what your condition, what your status at a brand when you do sell out, Maybe somebody buys you high. Maybe somebody buys you kind of high. Maybe somebody buys you at like the fucking dead low. That's what I'm just trying to say, man. And Stone and Ballast Point were like what got me into craft beer. It really was.
Yeah.
Not even like homebrewing. Like, sorry, what's up?
No, nothing. I mean, I'd be curious to know what the difference is in the sales levels at the time that Ballast Point was acquired, because I've heard of Sculpin, but I can't say I've ever bought it.
Did you have it in Nashville or Colorado? You had to have.
I was definitely familiar with Ballast, but I was way more familiar with Stone.
Really?
And I think it was because of their
distribution.
it was because of their like Mayan calendar series. Remember when they did that? Like they brewed a beer every year for 12 years, and they set them all up to be ready. They brewed like barley wines in 2000, and they're like, yeah, save this for 12 years and drink it in 2012 when the Mayan calendar ends.
No, but that's such an ego thing to
that?
do. No, but that
you never
makes
heard
me
of that?
Not like them. At the time, I thought everything Stone did was cool. Me and Gnome talk about this. But it's like,
I think that's awesome. You don't think that's cool?
I'm not going to sell somebody a bottle of wine or bourbon and be like, hold it down for 12 years. Like, fuck that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you have that type of power in that poll at that time.
I don't know how many years. I don't know how many years they did it, but I was just thinking, okay, that's like clever, man. You're thinking 12 years in advance, and they brewed one batch every year, and it was like the Mayan calendar beer series.
No.
And I had a buddy that like collected them all.
Are you sure it was Stone?
Yeah, Stone, man.
Mayan calendar?
100%. Somebody in the chat's got to know about this. Somebody in the chat has to know.
I think you're wrong, man. I would know about this. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
CH, you want
We got
a little friendly wager?
I'll bet you $5 of Coinstar money, which is quarters.
Wait. So you're gonna give me like a sock full of quarters or something if I win this bet?
I don't know. My sister wants to come on right now.
Do I have to take it to Coinstar? Okay, so Stone brewery, Mayan calendar beer. I mean, I could have just so Stone Enjoy by 12/21/12 IPA. End of days near. So
That was recently though. That was like within the last 6 months or a year ago. We've talked about this on here. Noam brought that up. That was kind of like their last cool.
No, dude. No. Okay, so available. Okay.
My sister's gonna come on for 5 minutes if you don't mind. I'm gonna boot
That's
her
all
ass
right.
the fuck out of here. Business as usual.
Okay.
Stone Mine Calendar. I remember everything about Stone. They made like the most expensive mustard and hot sauce, the most rip-off calendars. I mean, they were like a Disneyland of beer for a bit.
I can tell you, I've never heard of Stone Mustard, but
Oh, dude, their whole you know why I fucking don't really like Stone for a lot of reasons. But their employees would come in back in 2014 and 15 and be like, "Yo, dude, you guys do industry discount?" And we'd be like, "Sure, whatever. You know, we're kind of a small brewery." This is when me and Maury worked at Booze Brothers, and they would come in like the flock of the team, like 12 people post up, and we just kind of take care of them because they were kind of like the cool kid in the San Diego beer world. But if you went to Stone, anytime you ask for industry discount, it's like such a piece of shit move. But I remember doing that probably like 8 years ago. And they're like, "Oh yeah, where do you work? We need 2 forms of ID, 2 like tax stubs, 2 like pay stubs." I was like, "Okay, whatever. Just take my $20 and give me the mustard or the hot sauce, or whatever." Like, this is the dumbest shit in the world.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm actually kind of glad that I'm seeing Stone fail. I've had bad experiences there, and I've had friends that have worked there that were like girls that got fired while they were pregnant and stuff. Like, it was a weird company. It was like the coolest thing in the world, and then it got corporate too fast, and then it just flared out. And that's literally like the best way to explain Stone. It was literally the coolest, fucking most punk rock, independent, fuck Budweiser, fuck Coors, fuck, domestic stuff. We're a rock band. And then they literally tried to do all that stuff, and it was just layoff after layoff and lawsuit. And yeah, man, that guy's fucking crazy. Jeffrey Koch. He's really like fucking crazy. He lives
Really?
Yeah, he's like a what's the word for it? Megalomania. But anyway,
Just kind of egotistical kind of type dude.
yeah, and at the end of the day, like, I'm a speck of shit, on the ground to him, and he's gonna do more. He did more with his life than I'll ever do. But I don't know, man. When you have like all the integrity in the world, and then you go from like that to being the fastest sellout of all time, it's gonna be hard to kind of retain your diehards, let alone like your acquaintances.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, man. Patrick Sandy
Here we
for
go.
the win. I owe.
What do we got?
I owe
Patrick
CH
Sandy's the shit.
$5 worth of Coinstar money.
Was I wrong? Was I right?
No, you were right. It wasn't Stone. It was Elysian. So I'm gonna get $5 bill. I'm glad you said it was a Coinstar. I'm gonna get $5. I'm gonna buy a stick of gum with each dollar, and I'm gonna give you all the change. And
Here,
you can
here.
take it to Coinstar.
All right. As long as you troll my sister, we'll call it even.
All right, sounds
All
good.
right, sister. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do FaceTime. We're not gonna make it weird. She's gonna get 5 seconds of shine. This is my sister Elena. She's not gonna come in. I'm gonna try to get rid of her as fast as humanly possible.
Dude, she drove you to the airport, man, when you came to Asheville.
That's a true story. Not only that, but when I was in San Diego, she gave me her Mercedes SUV, and I felt like Ferris Bueller getting that. Oh, hi, sister. Are you ready for the internet? This is AH. This is Elena Hardy. She kind of looks like Tomb Raider, but shittier. Hello. Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on, Elena? But we can't hear her, though, dude. You got to put her, like,
Elena,
in
you
the
gotta talk
mic.
louder.
I gotta talk louder.
Yeah, I got you. All mic'd up.
There you go.
Hello. Say hello to the chat.
Hi. Are you guys all the Brages?
Yeah, let me get you on speaker. Lou,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. You look good, by the way. How's everything?
It's 115 degrees in Napa.
115 degrees
There
in
you
Napa.
go.
Everybody gives me shit for moving to Tennessee. It's 78 degrees out here. It's 115 degrees in California. Hold on, let me pull you up. Can you hear me now? Lena. Laney. Lena, say something.
Now I lost you.
This is going well, CH.
Hold on. No, it's not. Can you hear us now?
A day in the life wants to know if she's married.
Okay, hold on.
Chris Ratty says smoke show, but I'm pretty sure he's talking about you, CH.
Always.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, you're going on audio now. All right, yeah, these are these the barrages? She's coming in hot. How's it going?
But now I can't see you guys.
They got the mental image. There's not too many girls in here. Chris Radiation's probably cranking his pud.
Yes. Well, I can hear you now perfectly. So.
How's it going?
It's good. You know, California's hot. It's getting hotter. Global warming is clearly a real thing. So I could definitely use a beer right now, but I'll just drink my warm wine.
What time is it there? What year is it there?
We're in 2032.
It's 10 o'clock my time, 7:04 on the PC's time. Yeah, Lena, you need to get Discord to actually come on.
I did. Well, I did. I just downloaded it and I set up a little profile and everything. And
Okay, if you send me and Kyle a friend request, we'll actually pull you into YouTube in 5 minutes. I'll send you a link to it. Me and Kyle, we got it. Kyle's Clawhammer. This is who I go and visit in Asheville.
Oh, Clawhammer, yes.
Oh yeah, Kyle, my sister said you were cute like 6 months ago.
Dang.
I did. Sorry.
He's got a boyfriend. His name's CH and Emmett.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll figure it out, Lena. All right, later. That was station identification. We're just pausing in. What up, Alias? Yeah, man. Sorry about that. Okay, so Kyle loans me $5. I'm glad that I knew the stone.
$5 coins, yeah.
Okay, but what was the place you were talking about? What was the Mayan calendar? Allegiance?
It was Allegiance. So it was the 12 Beers of the Apocalypse. They did a beer every year for 12 years. I thought it was a cool concept. You hated it. All right, man. We'll just have to differ on that.
No, we're chilling, man. Todd Porter, does she brew more than you? Probably, man. The poser jokes are coming out.
Wow.
Dude, we still got 91 people here.
Nokia for life.
I don't think we've had this many people before. Have we even talked about anything that was legitness? Yeah, we did. We talked about Kyle doing Emmett's job, customer service.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And we talked about...
talked probably too long.
No, we didn't. And we talked about how I lived in Tennessee and California the same year, man. It really was like just an eye-opening experience.
CH, I have a question for you. I know
What
you
up, Doc?
don't brew anymore, so you might not even know the answer to this, but I have a beer that's brewing right now with Hornindal yeast. What's up? You mentioned that earlier. Did you use that already, or that's just something you want to use?
Good question. You know, I'm not Mayan Calendar IPA. I don't know. I've brewed with Omega 4 times. I remember Peter actually from Genius. He sent me like out of his own stash overnight mail with ice cubes and all that stuff. But I think it was Omega. I think it was Lutra. But I don't know. I know I've brewed with 2 of the colors. I just don't know which color Hornindal is. But what I do know is that the word around the campfire is that it's like got the most tropical esters ever. That's why I want to do the creamsicle one. Or
Okay.
what's better than a tropical like creamsicle beer? Pineapple creamsicle? It's got to be orange, right? Lemon creamsicle? Like nothing works like orange creamsicle.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, if
citrus dessert beers, not chocolate dessert beers. Citrus dessert beers. It's got to be orange creamsicle, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like an orange kind of ice cream, sure, like orange
strawberry?
lactose type thing. Yeah, it would be like an orange creamsicle,
Strawberry shortcake.
like the push pop,
Flintstones. Flintstones push
Flintstone
pops.
vitamins.
Flintstones push pops. You don't remember that from back in '98, junior high?
Nah, man, my
It's a
cousins had the Flintstone vitamins. We couldn't afford it, so
It's a Kadoozy.
love going over to their house.
It's a Kadoozy. Strawberry shortcake. What was the one with the Chipwich? Was it Chipwich with the chocolate chip ice cream sandwich? Toll House Chipwich. You remember that?
No, I don't. Toll House Chipwich. Yeah, I
What
mean
was-
maybe it's just that was a California thing. I grew up in Ohio. We had like Pepperidge Farms.
Yeah. What about the one with the ice cream that you would eat, but they were all like little dots, like nerds, Dippin' Dots.
Dippin'
Yeah,
Dots.
you got
Yeah,
that out there. Yeah. Hi, Heather Sharp.
universal.
How you doing?
I don't really like beer that much.
Okay, let me.
So
tell
wait,
you-
I want to know the answer to this question though, because I
Try
have
to
this
be with
beer
it.
brewing with Hornindal. My question is this, because I'm brewing this beer for you and Jesse. And CH, dude, you better make this happen, man. You better get over here. I'm gonna be so disappointed if you don't make it. No pressure, but I know you got something going on. But
Yeah.
Hornindal versus Voss. I'm just crossing my fingers that it finishes in time.
Hornindal
That's my
versus
question.
Voss. Only thing I know about Voss is that I did it in dry yeast format, and I was super stoked on it. The way that they've turned liquid yeast into dry yeast was great. This is actually when I was actually brewing beer. This is back when I lived in San Diego, and I actually wasn't bullshit.
Yeah, this is like
I mean, I'm always
2016 or something.
Bullshit. Yeah. No. This was like 7 months ago. This is when I was like trying to figure out when I stopped brewing. when I moving from California to Tennessee was one of the hardest things I've ever gone through. Like trying to sell everything and patch your house up and all this stuff. I wasn't able to brew, but at that time I remember everybody was dehydrating their yeast and they were putting it into dry format, which means you could get it on Amazon. It's going to be cheaper. You can get it on Amazon Prime. And I remember having way better success with Voss Kvaik. Who's Voss? Is that Lallemand?
Well, I mean, yeah, Lallemand
Like, who
does it,
owns
yeah.
who?
Like everybody, that's a yeast that a lot of different people have made, have propagated.
Yeah, but I mean, like, is it Voss or is it Lallemand? Because I remember looking at it and being confused. Like, where's the actual lab?
No, Voss is the yeast strain. Lallemand is the
Kvaik
company.
is the yeast strain.
Yeah,
It's
but like
Voss
Voss,
Kvaik.
but like Voss is so like Kvaik is like Hornindal is a Kvaik yeast. Voss is a Kvaik yeast. There are several different types of Kvaik yeasts.
I remember
Voss is one.
I had the best success with Voss dry Kvaik yeast. And I remember I wanted to do that video, man. I want to do that video so bad. Kyle, you could steal this idea. This video will get some shine. Dry
All right.
yeast versus liquid yeast. Just
That's
dry
a great
yeast.
idea.
It's a great idea. And
Yeah.
just have a good thumbnail. Put it in question format. It's a really good idea because if dry yeast wins, it's going to fuck up the whole market because no one's ever going to buy liquid yeast ever again, which means White Labs is fucked because they never put their shit in dry format.
Well, yeah, but like they have so much more variety though, right? I mean, you can't get a lot of the stuff that they make in liquid and dry form, right?
I don't
Isn't
think
that-
White
I mean, I
Labs
would
has
say-
anything. I think they're late to the table, man. I think the
Like-
name of the game is getting all these yeast now in dry format and get them on Amazon. And it doesn't matter what your margins
That's
are.
true.
If you have shitty margins, just push volume.
Dude, here's the name of the game in yeast, which I mentioned this because, like, I know some people at White Labs, and we hung out, made a video, and
You've made
hung
a
out
couple
with them a couple
videos.
times. Yeah, so the name of the game is currently like put some pictures on the packaging. Like you don't go
bland. Dude, White Labs
Imagine
is
if-
so dead.
Yeah, imagine if you went to
It looks like
the
a graveyard
grocery
thing you
store.
stick in the ground.
Yeah, Tombstone. Imagine if you went to
Tombstone.
the grocery store, you're gonna buy a 6-pack, and all of the 6-packs
Right.
looked exactly like the White Labs yeast packaging.
Right. And you didn't know the difference until you read it. You're out.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be such a Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like one different, beer
Right.
that actually has some graphics and stuff on the packaging. That one's gonna slam.
Oh,
So I was
100%,
like, you
man.
guys gotta. I mean, Omega has started. They've kind of popped off here recently, and some other companies, and
Solely
because they
based
have
off
better
branding, man.
marketing.
They got better marketing, man. And every time I'm looking at Omega, it reminds me of being a little kid in a candy store again. Like, you don't know the internet. You don't know like what's good, what's the best. Just imagine being a little kid in the candy store for the first time. It's like, what got your attention? There's chocolate over here. There's bright, shiny Skittles over here. There's this over here. It's like, where does the naked human mind just flock to? Color, character, comic book strip. Because remember, like the way that Omega's doing it, they've got like a raccoon, they've got a skunk, they've got a badger, a cartoon thing.
Yeah.
They're doing what cereal and candy did to us in the 90s. Remember, like nerds were actually like little lemmings guys.
Yeah.
Or like M&Ms were like the guy, like the red and the guys with the white gloves, kind of like they were pretty much ripping off Mickey Mouse. Like
totally.
it's like you create a character with it. It's like, how the fuck is White Labs supposed to compete with this? Unless it has the best word of mouth ever. Like word of mouth, like, have you ever heard of Screaming Eagle wine from Napa?
No, but I'm not a wine guy, so I wouldn't.
Exactly the point. Like, it's the hardest bottle of wine to get, and nobody knows what the logo looks like. Nobody knows what the color looks like. That's the only way that White Labs can pull off their branding. But they're not Screaming Eagle. They need to have tropical, vibrant, neon colors like Omega did.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think you're right though. You put it in a dry format, put it in some cool packaging and put it on Amazon, and then that's gonna do well.
Dude.
That's definitely gonna do well.
Totally. Oh my God.
Dude, that's your thing. You do CH
All right, here she is.
Homebrew for Life.
Homebrew for Life. Hey,
yeast company.
Homebrew for Life Yeast Company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me get my sister in here. Kyle, can you do 2 more beers or 1 more beer?
Yeah, I can hang out for a bit longer. So do I need to accept her as a friend as well? You mentioned that, or just you?
I don't know what she's fucking babbling about. What's our name in here? What's our Discord name? Well, here's the thing. If I click this out, it's going to get rid of you. Because I've got you on the Discord right now.
Dude, are you ditching me for your sister?
I'm not. I would never do that. Check out your phone.
I mean, she drove you to the airport.
She did drive me to the airport. She's a good sister. She's a great sister. So here's kind of what
She's
I'm doing.
got a Mercedes SUV.
She's a real estate agent. They all have Mercedes. Okay, I don't know how this is going to work. Okay, here we go. I'm going to figure it out.
Sweet. We'll see you in like 20 minutes.
No. I got this right here. Okay, so I'm going to kill the chat. I can do this right now.
You killing the chat?
Can you guys still hear Kyle? God, I got
Don't kill the chat and then leave me with my video and audio on. I need to at least be able to see something to respond to.
Okay, here we go. I can get the sister in here. Just give me a second. Okay, that's Logitech. I'm out. Okay, let's go to... We're going to do... No, I want to be able to do this because this is what people do on the fly. Okay, so...
Why
Elena,
looks like a ticketing outlet store brand.
Elena, you got to know what your name is. Okay, so Lynn Schaefer says they can still hear you. Okay, so... She's brand new to Discord, so she's not going to know.
Is it only me? Can people only hear me right now?
No, they can see me, but they can hear both of us. So let me go
to... gotcha. Okay, I can stop talking.
No, you're fine. No. I'm going to pull you in right now. I'm going to pull in... Ron Barnes, man, just donated $1. White Labs is a dinosaur at this point. I think Ron Barnes is on to something. Unless they really get their marketing shit together, because they do have a really good product. Kyle, how do you feel about that?
What, White Labs?
Yeah, like a dinosaur at this point?
I mean, I I use White Labs because that's primarily what my homebrew store stock. So that honestly, when it comes down to it, I buy all my yeast at the homebrew store. So whatever they have is what I'm gonna buy.
I don't
And
exactly
and
know.
really, I've been trying
Sorry.
to buy the Omega Cosmic Punch yeast. I've been to the homebrew store a couple times, and they've had it, and it was out of date. And then they were out of it completely. So
Okay, here's what's happening. Sorry, Lena, it's not happening. You got to come in on a night where we could do some. Oh man! Oh my god! Oh my god! My dad's gonna ground me. Kyle, you still with me?
yeah, I'm still here, man. I'm
All
reading
right,
through
one
the
more
chat.
beer.
Reading through yeah. I'm good for another beer.
Okay, so I know what to do. So I got to go back to Discord. God, I fucking hate PCs. Kyle's a PC guy.
Yeah, man. But I'll tell you what, I'm pretty close to switching over to Matt.
Yeah, that was crazy because I saw Lawson editing on PC. That was insane to me. Okay, here she goes. All right, I think we got the girl. Her name's Lainey. Where the fuck is my Discord? I don't know how I'm still Lainey
I got the chat.
8430.
You have like a duplicate copy of the chat. Oh, there's like a Pornhub just popped up in the background. I thought you were an Xvideos man.
I'm an ex-hamster guy. Lainey, can you hear us? All right, here we go. Here we go. So which is this shit? Oh my god, Kyle, this is what you're gonna have to deal with when you start your stream. Like
I'm not
everything's.
good.
Look at this shit. Everything's like Photoshop right now.
Yeah, what is going on there?
Way too fucking much.
Your computer looks like you just clicked on an email from a Nigerian prince or something.
I did.
The screen does.
I did. Okay, so that's done. That's done.
You got chat. You
Dude,
got
this
some
is
logos.
Okay, I see you over there. I see you, baby. Shaking that ass. Okay, where are you, though? Okay, so we'll go to this, and then we're going to go to... How did we do this before? I wish I had it on my phone so I could send it to my sister. I just don't think it's going to happen. We're getting Kyle back in here. We're going to go to window capture. There he is. All right.
Windows 99.
All right, here we go.
Capture.
This is how we're cooking with grease.
There you go.
This is exactly
back.
how we're cooking. Sorry, Laney, it's not happening. It's not happening tonight. I got to use the restroom. Kyle, hold it down. We're going to do one more beer, but I'm going to text her that it's just not her night.
All right.
All right, BRB.
Sounds good. Holding it down. BRB. Anyway, Voss versus Hornadal. Somebody needs to know the answer to this. What's the time frame I'm looking at? Cause I just actually brewed this beer yesterday. So brewed it on Tuesday. I need it to be done fermenting probably on Tuesday, I guess. Monday would be better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days is my Voss. No. Sorry, Hornadal. Is my Hornadal yeast beer going to be done in 6 days? I also brewed a beer with Voss Kvike, and I used this Phantasm stuff, which I've talked about a couple of times on here, a couple of times. Phantasm powders, this New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc tannin powder. I'm trying to make this beer pop off real nice. So yeah, Todd Porter, I don't know, is funkier flavor but also fast to sell. That was not my experience. I did a beer with the Hornadal a long time ago and it wasn't moving. So I actually co-pitched some Kvike and then it was like done immediately. It neither produces diacetyl, so not as much rest needed. That's good to know. Voss will taste more tropical. Both should be done if pushing 90. So I have it at 90 degrees right now. in a water bath, actually, which is what I've been doing here recently. Which is actually pretty cool. I should
I
show
got a
everybody a picture
question.
of this.
I got a question about your channel. Okay, so when you guys when you set up the stream, and you really have to, man. Let me straighten this out a little bit more. How are you going to do it? Are you going to do it with you and Ross and Emmett? Are you going to do it with just maybe you shooting the shit with the chat? I mean, is there something that Marshall did? I mean, how are you kind of planning this out in your head?
Well, first of all, man, big news. Ross is actually moving to Colorado. Ross,
No.
we're only gonna, yeah, dude. Unfortunately,
Dude, should I move to Asheville?
Yeah, man, move to Asheville. It's
Well,
gonna
I'm
be
not-
way
I'm
more
not-
expensive
I'm not-
here than Knoxville, but
What's up?
it'll be way more expensive here than Knoxville.
I'm from San Diego. It's
Oh yeah, but dude. So like you're, I
that
think
sounds
you and
like
your
don't
cats,
move to Knoxville, CH. Or
your cats will be living like kings in Knoxville. If they move to Asheville, they're gonna be.
You're losing
They're not-
Ross, man. You're losing.
We're losing
Ross
Ross.
still.
So Ross's lady, his
I know
wife, he
her.
got married.
I know her. I know.
Yeah,
her.
you met Jen. So
Oh yeah.
she took a job, some low pitch. She took a job at New Belgium in Fort Collins at their original brewery. So Ross and Jen are moving out to Fort Collins, which
Damn.
good for them, man. I think it's a really good move for her. And you know, Ross is just kind of easy going, go with the flow kind of guy. So he's
Sure.
down for whatever. But yeah, man, things are changing, dude.
Dude,
So-
Clawhammer's doing a full backwards somersault. I don't know, man.
You got to roll with the punches, though. So.
You got to roll with the punches. That's exactly right, man. You got to work with what you
Yeah.
got too.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, unfortunately, Ross is gonna be gone. So I don't really know what the stream is gonna be. I'm definitely not gonna do it more than once a month, and I feel like I would probably just do something like you do, where
Once a month?
like I have you come on, or Martin, or
about
Apartment
Emmett?
Steve, or Zach Pearson, Todd Porter, Aubrey.
Barrages.
Yeah. So I don't really know what we would do. Okay, here's a thing I've been thinking about doing. Here's something I really want to do.
Dude, I think I
CH.
need to come out to Asheville. Not to try to weird you out like I'm going to like bum up with Climber, but I think maybe...
Like, what about Bob style? Dude, move to Johnson City and you could help out my warehouse.
You think if I moved to Asheville, I would probably only see you on your terms. I never hit people up to hang out. It wouldn't be weird, but
Then we'd never see each other because I never hit people that hang. So
that's a problem. That's a problem.
So yeah, it'd be fun though. And in fact, here's the thing, man. I actually wanted to.
You might be onto something. I actually might be buying a house in Johnson City or Savannah, Georgia. So sorry to cut you off.
Savannah's probably a cool place too. So, dude, I actually wanted to come. I was thinking about asking you if it would be cool if I came over to Knoxville for the stream. But then,
Yeah.
dude, I can't even begin to tell you how shitty my week's been. Emmett's being gone and me having to deal with his job aside, like that's fine. I can deal with that. But like I've had some other issues pop up as well. So I couldn't make it, but I wanted to pop over to Knoxville. I don't know how that would have worked for a stream. But
Probably easier with you there. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's, as far as us being like in live time, clearly we're in
Yeah.
the same room.
yeah.
But kind of same difference, man. Like me and Noam and Aliaz have talked about this. Like when they do come out, I know I've been here for fucking 6 months now, and it doesn't feel like 6 months, but I haven't brewed. And when these guys come out, I actually do want to do a brew day with them, and I want to do a stream with them. So I'd have it set up, man. I mean, I could send you a picture of what I'm pretty much doing right now. I've got fucking 2 computers, 4 monitors, 2 mics, mixer. Like we're chilling, man. And as far as like we've talked about this before, Kyle, like what's your biggest regret of Clawhammer? You know, like just going harder and this and that. My biggest regret of Homebrew for Life is, I do take a 1 month stint off that because it's kind of just so like you're writing jokes, you're trying to be funny, you're looking at your face. It's just, it's kind of gross in a sense, But I wish I did start the Hoppy Hour a year earlier. You know, so the earlier you start it now, I think that you're just going to be more stoked in the long run.
Dude, if you would have started a year earlier, Constellation Brands could have bought you for $10 million potentially.
Yeah, I could have sold out to Sapporo for $50. But nah, man, like all the people that break their backs, and I'll talk to you about this more off camera, but I'll talk to you about it right now, man. Like the channel, when you first came on the stream, I was talking about like my biggest inspiration pretty much in life is that channel Cinemassacre. The guys that do retro. So they built up this thing that was like, you know, they have this highly edited retro video game nerd that, you know, plays frustrating Nintendo games and he loses a fit. What do they do on Mondays? It's two dudes, they're out of character and they sit there and they play video games. And it's one of my favorite things to watch. It's not really edited. They're playing anything from like Donkey Kong Country 2 to whatever. And now would that channel ever exist if they didn't have like, you know, the viral videos that went, you know, from 5 years earlier? No.
Oh, sure. Okay.
No, they wouldn't. But like these guys can just put out content and they're hanging out and I enjoy it. Dude, and there's no fucking money involved. I mean, you know, there's no effort involved. It's just two dudes on a futon in a basement playing video games. And I want to do that with Party Time James. Like I really want that. People that are passionate and care about video games. They talk about like the responsiveness of the controls and, you know, the storyline or whatever, and where it was at the time. And I was like, this is effortless, man. Like this compared to a Clawhammer video or even a Homebrew for Life video or definitely the Brew Show video. You know, like Trent fucking broke his back to make one of the coolest videos I've ever seen on YouTube, and he's got like 1,000 views. It's got nothing. And
You're talking about the hot sauce video.
The hot sauce video, and then two guys are just talking, and it's like, hey, how do you feel about like whatever the fuck Joe Rogan talks about? It gets like billions of views. He's earned that. That's granted. But there's no like production value. All he has to do is kind of like look at both sides of the spectrum and like ask those questions. He's earned that. He's been doing it for 15 or 20 years. But it's effortless content. It's fucking effortless content. It's people eavesdropping in on two people talking. There's no writing. There's no editing. There's a little production. There's no special effects. What's up?
Are you you're making a case for streaming here? Or you're just saying like, I wish I would have started YouTube a year earlier, had some viral hits, then I can just like chill and do what they do on Mondays.
I'm saying that me and you are drinking beers right now, pretty much doing something I did with all my friends in COVID, and there's 80 people watching right now. People listening to people talk, I never thought would be a fucking thing.
Right.
Up until like 5 years ago. And it's crazy, but it works. You know, whether I watch Chris D'Elia or Whitney Cummings or Theo Vaughn or whatever, people just like, how'd you feel about that UFC fight? And it's got 3 million views. I'm like, that fucking 3 million viewed video can fund your entire company for 1 week.
Sure.
You know? So I spent the last month, bro, literally redoing all the Homebrew for Life thumbnails. Yeah, and I noticed. You did notice that.
Dude, I get notifications.
You do?
Your community posts pop up on my phone.
Yeah. Okay, that means you're watching my shit. Chris Radiation, man. Much love, man.
$10.69.
But I do know that anybody can do what we're doing right now. Thank you, Chris. Much love, Chris Radiation. Anybody can do what we're doing right now. We're having fun. This is kind of like my vibe. It's a Wednesday thing. I love that Chris is here. I love that Aliaz is here. I love that Noam is here. I love that Lynn Schaefer's here. Todd Porter's here. I love when the green thing shows up. I just love that we can just have fun. You know, but when I do Homebrew for Life, it's like I need to fucking wake up and I need to like, I'm the weirdest guy in the world, man. Like I can wake up hungover and I will fucking go to the gym. I'm not going to lift 200 pounds or bench press, but I can go on the Stairmaster and swim laps. If I'm hungover, I can't look at social media and I can't even look at editing my own content from the night before. Most people are the other way. They're like, I would never go on like a 5-mile run. I would never get on Stairmaster. I'm kind of like the reverse human in that regard. I just want to get the hangover out of my system. I know that I said shit that doesn't matter.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. So no, like you just got to get this thing going, bro. You got 100,000 subscribers. All the Oz needs to do it too. I just think that it should be you and Emmett sitting in lazy boy chairs, just fucking posting up Barrage City, maybe with a microphone between two of you. Remember that video that you were telling me about that got the most trolled when you were doing like the Matrix? You said it got when it had like the Matrix go through your eyes and you're printing out shit and this and that.
Oh yeah. It didn't get trolled, but like people weren't really into it. Like
just
they
do
didn't
that,
think it was
man. Just
funny.
you and Emmett just sitting there, just drink beers for once a
Yeah.
week. And I hate to say this because it's anytime people talk about money, it's cringe. But I think that you could make maybe a couple $100 in donations or memberships, and chop that shit up and turn it into the Joe Rogan 3-minute clips, and you're kind of syndicating your own material. That's what I do. It's already out there. You don't have to film it again. You're just chopping up your own material and then putting it on whatever. It could take a lot of pressure off your real Clawhammer, videos. But the problem with what you're saying is you're like, hey, I want to do it once a month. It doesn't really work that way. You have to do it kind of consistently, like a Twitch video game guy.
Well, see, that's the problem.
That's the
I'm
problem.
not,
You don't want to do that.
I'm not a real. Yeah, I don't like doing anything consistently. I go to the gym every day, but that's about it.
That's pretty fucking consistent, and most people don't go to the gym every day. So
That makes me feel good though. If I were to like to hang out and every once a week, just
can
kind
people
of
tell
get
that I'm
lit up.
drunk?
I can't.
All right, we're good. Roswell's knows
Okay.
what's up. Okay, so hear me out. What did you just take from that? Is that humanly possible? You and Emmett sitting back, chugging beers, fucking Barrage.
Here's what I was thinking. We would do something like this like once a month, and then I would maybe release like a clip a week. So hopefully we could get like 4 good clips out of it, and we would talk about things that are like I think informational and entertaining and would add value to someone who was watching, and they would be into that. So.
The good thing about what we're doing right now is we have a live chat. Like Roswell has just said, Twitch streamers every day. The people in the chat, they're gonna be real. Like what are people doing? Is it information? Is it comedy? Is it video games? Like a 3 to 5 minute clip, and
Yeah.
I was looking at 2 clips today, and it came down to mine and yours. And me and Larry kind of riffed on a clip. He was talking about how like his kid goes to college, and it's like the dumbest thing of all time. And it makes sense because there's a lot of people out there that have like me, that are super embarrassed of their college degrees, or they just like, what the fuck is this, man? Like this is all bullshit. And I was like, do I put that on a homebrew channel or the Hoppy Hour channel, or do I take me and Kyle? Because I did ask you in that video, what would you rather do? Open up a brewery or open up a distillery? And straight out of the gate, you were like, I'm never opening up a brewery. And I was like, you know what? I'll run with that. I did edit the first minute. After that, we kind of just, probably sounds like what it sounds like right now, Kyle. Not to be honest, it's just me and you talking over each other.
Probably.
No, but
No, that was the most bumbling. Yeah, it was awful, man.
But you're
So,
in that. It's your
whatever.
face and your voice. Like most people aren't like, that wasn't that bad. Because I look at most in podcast clips and stuff like that, and I'm like, I know before they went live, Joe Rogan or Howard Stern or whatever, they get together with their guests and they're like, hey, what do you want to talk about? What do you not want to talk about? Hey, let's stay away from the politics. I'm a comedian. Hey, I am a politician. Let's talk about this. Like, feed me like the problem that I'm fake trying to solve. Like, they get together beforehand, and we never do that. So it's just kind of like,
sure.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult for us.
So like I was on a pretty high profile business podcast a long time ago. It was called the Mixer G podcast.
Okay.
And they've had some very high profile people on there, Silicon Valley superstar type people.
Dude,
and I just happened to get invited on because I had a membership to their website, and I emailed them and asked them about a question, and they went to my website and they said, hey, what do you do? And they thought I was interesting, so they had me on. And their producer called me up, and I did a 2-hour call with the producer before we did the actual interview. That was after they had sent me this huge list of questions. And so basically we had the entire thing talked about and written out before I went on. And
That's bullshit.
when I did the
That's
actual
bullshit, man. It was all a template.
I mean, it was just very well thought out, very well planned out. And
See, we don't.
I mean, not only
should.
do you not have like the resources for that, because they had a full-time staff person that did that.
Right.
We're also drinking beer. So
Right. And I
Yeah,
used to watch a
anyway.
ton of Howard Stern, and there was this dude Casey that would go up. He was his producer, and then he'd be like, "Hey, you're having like Jennifer Aniston on today. Or you're having like this person on today." And Howard Stern's like eating his like banana slices and tuna fish. He's like, "Right, what's next? What's happening?" Well, their dad just died, or they just killed this person, or they just have a movie. He's like, "Okay, whatever." And then when the person comes on, Howard Stern's like, "Wow, like how did you get that? Like this and that, like this and that." I'm like, I mean, I get that after 40 years of, pretending to care about celebrities or politicians or athletes, you can kind of sense this like, dude, I'm literally just null to all this sense. I don't care that you fucking won the trophy championship thing or your box office movie. But Howard Stern had like the job is to be like, what was it like when like everybody was against you in
Yeah.
the world and all this stuff? And it's like, just the guy who's reading before me is like, hey, you literally have on today like 4 of the biggest actors. You have Hillary Clinton, Nicolas Cage, Denzel Washington, and like Bam Margera. He's literally just eating a cereal. He's like, cool, what's next? Like, whatever the fuck ever. Like, fuck it. Anybody who's worked at a job for 40 years, you're pretty much like desensitized at that point.
Yeah,
right? Like,
sure.
Who's really going to like, Kyle, do you get starstruck? You ever run into a celebrity? Or you like, whoa, I need your autograph? You're like, wow, that's like The Rock or fucking whatever.
I mean, I've never
Well,
met
it-
a celebrity actually.
What?
The first time I ever got nervous making a video for my channel was just this last, couple weeks ago when I was out in Colorado and I had to do the video with the crypto billionaire, because I literally had followed that guy on YouTube for a year and a half or 2 years before I met him. So like I very much like knew who the guy was. And he's been on like Fox Business. He testified before Congress. He knows Elon Musk. He's fucking did a thing with Snoop Dogg recently. So like that was the most celebrity like experience I've had. And I wasn't as much starstruck. I was definitely nervous though. But I think you're saying, somebody like Howard Stern, they have like you're saying, they've been doing this a long time. They have a lot of pages in their playbook, so it's just like they can just rattle stuff off. They can fill the empty space very easily. But I do enjoy. I like your format, man. And like I'm a member of Homebrew for Life, or the Hoppy Hour. I have a Hoppy Hour membership, and it pops up on my phone. You're live, and I drop in and watch it. And mostly I just drop in just to
Watch
I
me
don't
blow it?
say anything. Yeah, and I monitor and I wait for you to say something and I pounce on it. But
No, you don't. You're a barrage. Nah, man. And this is how I want it to be.
but
and
it's fun. It's fun.
can we do one more beer or is that it? We just
Yeah,
said 2
we can
hours.
do another beer.
One
Yeah,
more
I
beer?
got some- Yeah.
One more beer. No, I'm brewing. I saw Mr. Belding one time. Mr. B?
Mr. Belding.
Thanks, Masso. Shout out to Strider, man. And I talked to my dad today. My dad's like by far the most resourceful movie buff I've ever met in my entire life. I said Strider, which is from Lord of the Rings, but I'm thinking of Game of Thrones. Has anyone seen that yet? But my dad said it was like as good as the old Game of Thrones, House of Dragon or whatever.
It has. Yeah, I've watched a few episodes.
What's your take?
Well, I mean, if you remember back to the very first season of Game of Thrones, I was shocked by the number of main primary characters that they just murdered one after another. Literally, like you got to know somebody
Right.
and they killed them.
Well, none
They're
other
like, okay,
than
this
Ned
is the most
Stark.
important person in the series.
The
Killed
one I
him.
love the most. Yeah, you don't get that too often in most like 2-hour Hollywood movies. It's got to be like a trilogy or a series or a.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's okay, you know, but
Is it as good as like season 6 or 7 though? Because I was like, everyone takes everything for granted, and I do in a lot of senses. But like, I'm very glad that where I was a human on planet Earth, I was able to watch Game of Thrones in my lifetime because it was so fucking good and so inspiring.
pretty good.
That it actually made me kind of want to start a YouTube channel. Like
Really, that was an inspiration. Game of Thrones.
Oh, huge inspiration. Like if these guys can do this impossible fight scene in where it's ice and they're fighting dragons, whatever, like I can make a beer video in my garage. At the very least,
Okay.
I think I got this.
Right.
I hope. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know.
I see that.
I don't know. Like people like in the 70s and 80s were so inspired by Star Wars and Jaws and stuff like that. And like I don't get Star Wars. I never really understood Star Wars. I never understood Lord of the Rings. I love Jaws. Jaws is one of my favorite movies of all time. But I never like got Star Wars. I think it's just one of those things where you had to be there kind of at that time maybe to get it. Or The Exorcist. Like I'm the biggest horror movie fan of all time. But I always hated The Exorcist. And my uncles were like, dude, you needed to be there. I'm like, oh, yeah, I was born in 85. So I fucking couldn't have been there, you idiot. Like, yeah. He's like, dude,
Right.
everybody was like Roman Catholic. You went to church on Sundays. And I'm like, well,
But-
yeah, I wasn't alive to know like what it was like to not have social media and have a mother that would just like berate you every fucking Sunday and you're going to hell and all that shit. Like, yeah, I also wasn't alive in the Roman Empire. Sorry, what's up?
But was it also maybe the production value? I mean, because like the thing about Star Wars was the production value of Star Wars was just so much better than everything else up to that point. It's sort of like Citizen Kane and
Dude, I never gave a shit about graphics.
The Wizard of Oz. You know, if you do like a film history,
Never gave a shit about graphics. All I ever cared about was story. That's why the original Nintendo and Super Nintendo games are the best of all time. You don't need good graphics. You don't need CGI. That's why, in my opinion, the movie Clerks is like one of my favorite movies of all time. You know, as long as you sorry, what's up?
Well, I think, but what I'm saying is, it's just like, okay, you were alive in 1984 or whatever you, and
85.
you were alive in
January 85.
1986. You had an
Yeah.
Atari 7800.
No, I had
I
did not.
But then you were then you know, then like in whatever 1990 or I don't know 1988, Nintendo came out.
100%.
And people look back at Nintendo now, they're like, oh, Nintendo sucks, man, compared to the stuff now. But you had to be there because Nintendo came out and there I go. Nintendo came out and you know, it just like blew Atari away.
Right, and I'll tell you why you're right, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. Let me get you back.
Did my camera turn off, CH?
Yeah, you should still be here. Can you see it on your end? Were you running off battery?
No.
Hold on, let me get you back in here. I see you, baby.
There we go.
Shaking that. Okay, here's why you're right and here's why you're wrong. The reason that you're right is because the graphics were better, right? The Nintendo graphics were way better than Atari. But it always comes down to gameplay. Did you ever have that phone called Snake? Did you ever have a Nokia phone?
I had the Nokia phone. Like, I had the Nokia phone that everybody had.
Did you ever have that game on Snake, though? Where
Oh,
like
yeah, Snake. Yeah, I know.
The more you ate like an egg or something, you think your snake would get longer and longer and longer?
Yeah, but I didn't have that on like my Nokia phone. That was like a Windows game.
No,
Have you ever had a Windows computer, or you always just been a
Well,
a Mac guy?
before Mac, it was like Solitaire and Minesweeper. But here's my point to that. The Snake game on Nokia, which everybody had pretty much my junior and senior of high school, worst graphics of all time. That pretty much was an Atari game, but it had good gameplay. If you actually go back and play any Atari 2600 game, they give it all these themes. Like they were trying to buy movie rights, whether it was E.T. or Indiana Jones. It was just a guy going up and down and all this dumb shit. It was horrible. That game, Snake, has way better gameplay and control than anything on the Atari 2600. And that just goes to show that it's got nothing to do with graphics and everything to do with like gameplay.
Yeah, true.
Responsive
I think
control.
You mentioned like the worst 2 Atari games ever made, right?
Was
Indiana
E.T.
Jones and E.T.
Yeah.
They're both horrible.
Horrible. Do you
I
remember
remember
those?
having those as a kid. I had those on the Atari, and I was like, I don't get it. I don't understand how to do this.
No. You know what's funny? My favorite YouTube channel of all time, Cinemassacre, they made a fucking real movie that they raised money off for that E.T. Dude, Kyle, okay, here we go. They raised money for that. They literally created, not like a real movie. It was like a straight-to-video movie, like a VHS movie. That E.T. game for the Atari 2600 is considered the worst video game of all time. Like, the first hype versus, like, actual how many kids were, like, crying on Christmas because how bored they were. That's number 1 of all time.
Yeah, it was bad. It wasn't even like it was too hard. You couldn't do it.
Horrible
you didn't even
game,
know what you're
man.
supposed to do.
And then they came out with like Atari or Pitfall. Remember Pitfall? And they thought that was good, but you died every time you saw a spider.
Yeah.
Atari E.T. Cinemassacre. Dude, we got to meet these Cinemassacre guys, man.
Dude, reach out to him, man. You never know.
Okay, here we go. All right, 3 million views. Kyle, I'm going to put this here in the chat. I know, my style of comedy or low budget shit ain't the style of everybody else's, man. But Kyle, click on that link, man.
I will. Like right now?
Well, maybe not right now, but you're going to see
Yeah.
that was your childhood because you were born in what, 1981, 1980?
1980.
Okay, so when did your family first get Atari? When you were like in kindergarten? Yeah.
Probably even before. Like my mom, my grandpa, I guess I've been told he was just like into like anything that was technology, like he was into it. So he bought an Atari, but he didn't play it. I never remember playing it with him a single time.
Dude,
I played it by myself. Like I just remember there's always an Atari's from, I could always remember an Atari being around.
It's a good story, man.
But yeah, dude, I agree. E.T., Indiana Jones were horrible. My favorite Atari game, I think, is Missile Command. Do you remember that one?
No, like again, so I'm 38 in January, but if anybody asks me, 24. So you're going to be like 41, 42?
I'm 42.
Okay, so we were at the time when the technology thing was like insane. Not technology, but this is when, okay, do you know about like the whole the video game crisis when everything went from arcade and then they tried to do home console, but everything was kind of bombing? Do you remember that? This is kind of more of like a Stranger Things thing. But did you ever know about the video crisis of like 1983?
No.
Okay, I'm going to send this to you too.
Actually, no.
Okay, hold on.
I'm going to just say no on that. That's a no, CH.
Okay, so anyway, so back in the day, in the 70s, or no, it wouldn't even be in the 70s. In the 80s, everything was about, arcade machines, but it was about like a non-probable game, which means, every game went to a high score. It wasn't like Mario where you'd beat the game. It was like Asteroids or Pac-Man or this or that. And it would just be like whoever had the highest score, you get your name or your initials at the end, and that was it.
Right.
So they tried to take this concept and, obviously make money off it and turn it into a home console, and it like bombed. It went really bad. And Nintendo, dude, I got to send you this fucking... There's such good documentaries about this. Like if Nintendo never... spawned, because Nintendo actually used to be like a brothel company. They were like a card company, this company, they were all over the map. Nintendo honed their shit in, but Nintendo pushed the map in this industry so far that I'm a believer there'd be no, PlayStation or Xbox 360 or whatever. Maybe now there would be. They might have figured out by now, like creating a PC system and turning it into a home console. But Nintendo was like fucking light years ahead of Sega or 3DO or whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. I'm just rambling now. Let's get back to beer. All right, here we go. We got 75 people here. Anybody else got some questions?
I'm kind of like, you know what? I went. All right, let's get back to beer. I'm gonna go on another.
I'll send this to you
tangent
on
here.
Instagram, but I want you to check out the Video Game Crisis because you were like 5 years old when this came out.
The last thing I'll say, dude, is I just rewatched The King of Kong by a Fistful of Quarters for probably like the third or fourth time a week ago. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
Holy shit, man. You got to watch that movie. That is a must watch for anyone who's ever played an arcade game, like an old school arcade game, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, whatever. It's just nuts. It's such a cool movie, and it's about the people like you were just saying, the people who would go to the arcade, they get the highest score ever, they get the highest score on the on the machine, and then there's an organization that keeps track of the highest scores ever, just in the world on these machines. And it's about a scandal that basically happens within that group. And the thing I love about it, it's about a guy just like a normal dude, 30, 40-year-old dude. He's a school teacher. He has a wife and kids. And he was a superstar athlete when he was younger, but he never made it pro. And he had all these dreams of being like the best person ever at like just something in the world. And it just never happened for him. And he hit a point in his life where he's like, I just got to be the best at something. I don't care what it is, and I don't care what it takes. I'm going to do it. And what he landed on was getting the highest score ever in Donkey Kong. And the movie tells the story of that. And it's just an incredible story. You should check it out. King of Kong.
I will, man. I 100% will.
I will watch the movie. I'll watch the video that you put in the link. I have checked out Cinemassacre based on your recommendations, and it's a cool channel.
It's a great channel, man. It's so Clerks. It's so low budget. It's so real. It's a dude that wants to make videos that never wants to be a part of like Hollywood or be on social media. He's literally just kind of like, did you ever watch who's the jackass dude that was kind of weird, but he was like kind of smarter? Not Chris Pontius.
I just know Johnny Knox.
No, not Josh. No, CKY. There was a dude, Brandon DiCamillo. Brandon DiCamillo. Where he's like, I just kind of want to do this by myself, and I don't really want to make people in Hollywood more richer. Brandon DiCamillo. He's kind of like an introverted version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to send this to my buddy up in Alaska right now. I'm going to go to the happy hour.
So there's a new, to answer the original question that you asked that sent us on this video game tangent, there is a new game coming out called like Moonshiners or something like that. A video game called Moonshiners where you can distill. Basically, you can make mash and then distill it. And then I think the same company.
A video game where you can make sour mash.
Yeah, in the video game. And then there's another, I think even the same company has made a video about homebrewing. Have you heard about this?
No.
So there's a company that's making a video game about homebrewing, and the trailer that it made for this and the game looks so bad. But I learned about it on r/homebrewing on Reddit. And
Okay.
I can't believe it, but the people on Reddit were like, this looks cool as hell. And I'm
Whoa.
thinking, what? There's no
Usually
way.
Reddit eats people fucking alive.
I know. Reddit doesn't care about anything. Even if it is cool, they still think it's bad because it's
Right.
Reddit. So I'm thinking, what? I don't understand why people are into this.
Right.
So now this is my idea. This is what I want to do. I want to play. I want to get
Look,
together
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like
and
beer that
play
much.
this dumb homebrewing game.
Okay.
So if you want to help me out, if you want to help me set up a stream, CH, that'll be my first video. You and
Okay.
I will get on here and we'll play this dumbass homebrewing game.
Yeah.
And we'll probably fall in love with it and stop brewing in the real world.
No, we're never going to do that. And once I get back to home brewing, I'll be back. To be honest with you, man, one of the reasons I don't brew as much is because I don't have a garage. And people make these videos like, hey, top 10 videos. What do you buy under $50 or top homebrew resources. The best thing you can have, which actually you don't, you're the exception of the rule, is to have a garage. Because most homebrewers, Kyle has an office, and it's the raddest thing in the world. It really is. Like, you could honestly probably charge tickets for homebrewers to come. But that would just make you a douchebag. You would never want to do that. But the garage is like the ultimate guy's man cave.
Yeah.
You can go out there. You could get it dirty. You could spill water. You can get drunk. You can smoke a cigarette. You can smoke a joint. You can fucking do a line of cocaine. If you do that shit in your kitchen and you have a wife, it's on. Or a girlfriend, like, it is fucking on. Like, if you have a detached garage, like I used to have, like, it was so special. And you never really, like, appreciate something until you lose it, whether it's a dog or a girl or a garage. But it's so true. And that was another kind of thing that just kind of, like, wigged me out about homebrewing, is that I could just like run around the street, smoke a cigarette or smoke a joint, come back, and I'd be off the hook. But you can't do that when you're, Apartment Steve, or you're on the East Coast, or you're in Boston, man.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of embarrassed and ashamed that I haven't used the Clawhammer system yet, but I think it's the actual perfect system from where I'm at right now, because there's a couple.
No expectations, man. I had zero expectations.
No. Dude, hey, Kyle, when I come back, man, the NBC is either going to make people donate or unsubscribe, because I've been writing this one for a little bit. That mandatory beer chug like montage. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
what's it? It's gonna be prayer for monetization.
Yeah.
Territory.
Yeah. I don't want anybody to be in the gray on this. You either fucking are on board or you're fucking blocked and reported. That's how we're doing it these days. All right, one more beer or what? Mr. Gibson.
Yeah, I never
house.
got my other beer. I need to fill it up. But hey, dude, I do need it.
Hey,
you grab a beer right now?
You hold it down, Kyle. You hold it down. I'll be right
All
back. I gotta go.
I got a good question to answer here.
All right, I'm drinking.
Someone said,
I got one more beer. I've got a Highwire Lager, American Lager. I have no idea what American Lager means anymore, besides from branding. But hold on, we'll talk about that when I come back. BRB.
All right.
And then we're out of here.
Sounds
One
good.
more beer and we're done, right?
Yep, that's
Okay.
it. So, day in the life of Kyle, when you guys going to sell that counterflow chiller and a steam condenser? I don't think we're ever going to sell a steam condenser, because I just don't get the point. Like, yeah, it reduces moisture, but it doesn't like fix the smell. I don't know, man. If you want a steam condenser, just get it from somebody else. And then the counterflow chiller, yeah, we have them. That's going to be soon. But again, I don't know, man. If you've never used a counterflow chiller, the thing about them is that they're quite slow. And we have a nice counterflow chiller that we have a nice prototype, and we're going to, the best one we landed on, but it's nowhere near as fast as a plate chiller. The thing about the plate chiller, I guess, the advantage of the counterflow is that it's not going to get stopped up, probably ever. And then it'll be more sanitary. But here's what we're going to do. And Emmett came up with this idea recently. We're going to cut a plate chiller in half and look inside, see what really is going on in there. Is there a bunch of nasty junk in there, or can you reasonably clean out a plate chiller with PBW? Because I think if you can and there's not nasty stuff in there, I don't see why you would use the counterflow chiller, because they're so much slower and less efficient. I don't know. That's my take on that. So. Hey, straight up, man, love my garage. CH really went on a tangent there about doing drugs in his garage. I like it.
It's my goddamn sister. She won't leave it alone. Are you crying?
No,
Here she is.
I thought you were going to FaceTime me.
I'm live with Kyle from Clawhammer. What's your fucking deal?
I thought it was over.
Now look, can you look at you? All right, here's my sister. Hey, you know who's watching this right now? I think Brian Stoffel. Brian, can we get a shout out? Well, I only got one phone. Hey, are you going to do my NFL Survivor League this year, Elena?
Yes, go Niners.
$100. They're actually the favorite to win week 1. Them are the Ravens.
Yeah, maybe
All right.
Miami too.
All right.
Who knows?
Kyle, here's my sister.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, Kyle.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
All
How are
bad.
you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
All right, Lana, you got 3 minutes. Say something.
That's
What are
a
you up
lot
to?
of time. There's a lot to say in 3 minutes. I could tell my whole life story in 3 minutes.
I can hear you way too
Yeah,
fucking
tell us
loud.
your life story.
Yeah. She was adopted.
No, there's no 3 minutes for Elena. I didn't realize that you guys were still online, so I'm sorry to crash the party. There's not much to say other than go Brages.
I like that CH answers the call though. It's a good brother. You seem like a good sister too.
We got a good shout out for you for giving me the Mercedes, Elena, in San Diego. That was huge. That was awesome.
Yeah, thanks for not washing it, by the way, too, when you returned it.
Filled up the gas tank.
Yeah, thank you.
A for effort.
A for effort.
All right, come to
A for-
Knoxville. I'll take you out to dinner and we'll call it even. Please.
I will. Sorry, you guys. I hate to keep interrupting. I'll let you guys.
Has
do
your sister
thing.
been in Knoxville yet?
Lena, what's your deal with Knoxville when you coming in hot?
I'm still in Napa for another 2 weeks. until
Have you
I sell
sold
this
that $20 million
guy.
house yet or what?
It's down to 12.5 million. So if anybody's got a buyer for me out here
What?
in Napa,
Wait,
She's selling 12?
it started at $20 million. Now it's down to 12.5.
it started at 25 million. Then it went to 19.9. Now it's at 12.5.
Dang.
Kyle, we talked about this earlier, man. Shit is coming down in California. Because I said it was coming down here. It is relative.
Yeah, the problem with this property is that it's sitting in the middle of an ashtray. The 2020 fires.
Oh,
just
it's on
killed
fire. It's California fires. So
Yeah,
what?
it's
So
California fires.
nobody will insure you guys? Nobody wants to take on, no insurance companies want to take on this liability?
No, I mean they will, but only to a certain amount, and not to
Right.
the amount to what it would cost to rebuild it, which would be 20 million.
What about the
Look at
houses
me-
around
look
it,
at me
though?
plugging my real estate plugs on your.
Yeah,
beer
but
show.
what about the houses around it, though? Not every house burns to the ground.
No, but they're less. They're worth less, so they can insure more.
Right.
So it's Napa's a figly beast, that's for sure.
It's a what?
It's a figly beast.
Figly beast. Okay. What are the property taxes? Roswell's wants to know out there in North Dakota.
It depends on. It's 1% off the purchase price. So this particular property is $90,000 a year.
For property tax?
Yeah. 'cause
That's
they
all the
bought it
time we
for
have. That's all the time we have. All right, Lena.
Yeah,
we're
it's
gonna- you-
expensive. California is the most expensive state to live in.
I know that. We talked about that earlier.
Yes.
Chris Radiation says $25 million house is $150,000 a year.
Dude,
All right,
the
Lena,
house.
have a good night. Love you, baby.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Later. Later. Brutal, dude. Fucking California. What do you put your pants back on, Kyle? Thought we talked. Nah, she's
I
cool,
need a-
man. She's
I need a minute now.
She's good, man. She's cool. She's a cool sister. She's cool as shit. She got me, she took me to parties growing up, got me fucked up. We partied. She's a cool older sister for sure. 100%.
Dude, how much bank is your sister making out there? She's like even 1.5% on a $12 million house is 180 grand, and that's
I
just
know.
on one deal.
But the bummer about these real estate things is here's the joke about real estate. People that want to buy $10 million houses only want to deal with experienced sellers, which means nothing. I mean, it does mean something, but they really have like termite guys come in and, asbestos guys come in and all this stuff come in. But it's like at the end of the day, you're still in sales, you're not like a doctor. If all these guys in Hollywood that weren't getting jobs anymore, they were like, oh, I just want to go sell real estate. Get your ass up to Napa. People are like, well, you were in a movie in the 90s, whatever. Like, I'll go with that guy. You would make a fucking killing.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
sales, man. It's sales.
Dude.
I mean, we're all kind of in sales at the end of the day, but some people are really in fucking sales.
Dude, you're on homebrew for life. I recognize you from the hoppy hour. I'm gonna go with you, man. If I ever buy a house, I'm going with you, CH.
Dude, you know what's funny is I was hanging out with Charles the other night, and I'm kind of pissed off about you about this. The guy that's opening up Yeehaw, he's the guy that owns
You're pissed off at me.
Yeah, I'm very pissed off at you. Who's the guy that owns Smoky Mountain Moonshine? Jim Baker. He's probably your age, maybe a couple years older.
All right.
But he also owns Yeehaw. So I met these guys because they were watching our video this one night, and I thought that they were watching Homebrew for Life video. But you know what happens if you search Homebrew for Life on YouTube? You know whose video shows up?
Is it mine?
Yours.
With your name in it?
Yes. Yeah.
That's great.
So I said, because I was looking at it, I was like, you're watching a video of me and Kyle, because they searched Homebrew for Life, but it was when we shot it with Just Brewing, not Apartment Steve. It was the first time it came out. And I was like, yeah, this motherfucker gets the 4 cents ad revenue. But yeah, no, I'm not pissed at all. I'm being a piece of shit right now. But it was that video. We talked about it again.
But they weren't like, that wasn't the owner of
that wasn't
Moonshine.
Jim Baker. No,
Okay.
that's the guy who's like 40, who's our age. Really good dude, man. Charles Ellis. He's like one of the three guys I text.
Okay.
What's up?
But you said he's like higher up at Yeehaw.
He's the GM. He's like third step down from Johnny fucking Uncle Scrooge. Yeah. No, hey, dude. Hey, Kyle, if you ever come out here, he's like one of the 3 guys that I talk to. You know, because I hang out with like a couple girls or whatever, you know, but like I'm kind of too old to like make friends, you know, unless it's kind of like really homebrew people or beer people.
True.
And, he's a good dude, man. You come out here and he just had his second kid, but maybe you guys could benefit from each other. And we kind of want to do the whole BrajCon thing. And when they open up their thing in Yeehaw, I think we're going to do it there. Maybe like, you know, late November, early October. I don't know. No, really.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
See, you might be like the only new friend I've made in a while, dude.
Appreciate that, man.
It's been a minute.
I really do, bro. No, because I remember between us, man, and I'm not taking this down, but I remember like we were hanging out and we were drinking with the apartment brewer, and like we had a couple beers, and they were going outside to film a shot, and you were like, dude, like it's Apartment Steve. He's been brewing on my system. You're like, dude, I haven't watched like his last video. And I looked at you, I was like, I don't watch any of his fucking videos. And we just like throwed down. And I was like, I mean, I watch him in small doses, man, but I can't watch like, there's a billion fucking YouTube videos every day on YouTube, even the shit that I'm interested in, like old school retro video games, 90s football, Chris Berman doing commentary. I can't watch everything. You can't read every book. You can't listen to every song. You can't drink every beer. But I remember I said that to you, and we just fucking like slapped and broed down. I was like, dude, I can't. You know, I love Steve, and it just takes, you know, a minute to really kind of look through like a 22-minute YouTube video of anybody, and I want to support everyone's channel, but like, some videos are just kind of tough to click on.
I definitely watch. I'm looking at Steve's channel right now, and I've of his last, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But you were so ashamed.
So 18 videos. Yeah, because I didn't watch his very last one. Yeah, I've watched a fair number of his last 20 videos. Or I guess this would actually be like more popular videos.
Right, but like, do you watch every Homebrew for Life video? Fuck no. Do I watch every Homebrew Challenge video? Fuck no. Like, you just catch them in glimpses.
Yeah.
And you can't keep a tab. And you don't want to do it that way. You don't want to feel obligated. You want to watch something because you feel it organically. Nobody wants to feel like, I got to go do this shit. I got to go buy this beer. I got to go support this fundraiser. People want to like, I want to go because I want to go. I want to see it. That brewery is having the most fun. I want to go over there. You never want to feel obligated. Not when it comes to beer.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I watch different channels for different reasons. So I definitely don't watch every one of Steve's videos. I pick and choose the
I don't watch any
videos
one
that
of
I
your
watch of
videos,
his.
man. Like, no offense.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
I don't know why you would.
and vice versa, right? Like, what are you going to watch, like another like outtake video of me and Maury like shitting in our pants? It's horrible.
Yeah, like I watch, like I pick and choose basically. Like if I look at all Steve's videos, I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to watch that. That looks like a good topic that I'm interested in.
I think we're on
I do watch a lot of your videos. I like the humor of them, like the humor that's, you know,
No, and at the end of the day, you know, I talk to you and I talk to the Bruce Show. I definitely watch you and the Bruce Show the most, whether you knew that or not. You know, there's jokes, there's production, there's things that keep me around. But I don't know, man. There's just so much content in the world these days. It's just really fucking hard to like really have a good conversation or like really give somebody your full attention or just focus on one thing for 5 minutes. I don't know, at least for me. Probably why I'm single.
Yeah, I mean, so you know, when we make videos, when we watch the video, oftentimes I'll pause the video if we're like doing a review, and we'll say, hey, like, what's gonna keep somebody from clicking on to the next thing at this point? Because I am in this video and I don't want to watch it.
Right.
You know, like people are typically into the things that they're into, and I don't even want to hear myself talk at this point.
Well, it's also a weird thing too, because when I edit, I'm speaking for Yeast and the Beast. I'm speaking for people that don't even brew. But when you're like editing yourself, and we're trying to make ourselves look cool and informative,
right,
and look good and funny, and like when I'm done with a video, I never look at that video ever again. What happened to you, Braj?
Oh, I'm off again. Sorry.
Yeah. Can you hear me though?
Yeah.
I never look at that video ever again until I'm like blacked out. And I do love getting blacked out. I know everyone's like, hey man, like, dude, you can't. No, like a couple weeks ago, I fucking drank nothing but double IPAs, and I rewatched my my trip to Berlin, and I was having so much fun. And I was texting the guy that I went there with, my buddy who lives in LA. Let me pull this up a little bit. And you know, like once you're done with the video, like you've heard your voice and your face enough, you've done your shitty fucking branding, whatever. You're like, I'm just done. I just want to get rid of this.
Yeah.
I'm out. Like I'm fucking out. And
right.
I have a buddy who he's got kind of a Spotify thing going in San Diego. He plays acoustic guitar. He's like, dude, CH, I'm totally with you, man. He's like, dude, when I have to listen to myself, I literally need to drink like a bottle of whiskey. And I'm like,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Kyle? Like when,
yeah.
And then once you get blacked out, you can finally like critique yourself. Like you stomach like your own shitty face and your voice and like your mannerisms, or me looking like around, or, you know, like dragging on the pace of the video too long. But once you get that, I start breaking out the pen to paper and I start writing. And if I can understand my scribble in the morning, it's generally pretty good feedback. But when I'm writing shit down, I'm kind of fucked up. But I think you kind of have to have that. Like there's this kind of like drunken chef, you know, like in Japanese cultures or Asian cultures, there's like, you drink a couple beers, whether you're a chef or an artist, and you see like whatever you throw at the wall and see what sticks, and then kind of run with it. Well, like, sure, you don't want to be like that all the time, but like maybe those couple beers made you understand a joke better or get a little bit more creative. And maybe not. Maybe just write it down when you're stoned or high or on ecstasy or mushrooms or whatever. But don't go live with it until you're sober. You know, I've learned that the fucking hard way. You know, like sometimes you're like, yeah, I'm the funniest guy of all time. Time to go live on Instagram. In the morning, my dad's like, you're fucking retarded. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Like, that's the last time on planet Earth that will ever happen. Sorry, Pops. Sorry I embarrassed the last name. But it's just weird. Like, I don't know. You just got to kind of... We're kind of in the same boat. You know, we're trying to do this thing, comedy, information, production, getting sick of yourself, hating your face, hating your voice. You've got to null it, but sometimes drinking 6 double IPAs can give you a better joke, but then you got to like hone it back. Like this whole thing is kind of like a fucking wild horse. Do you ever get that?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, 100%.
Right? Like, do you ever, like, are you like, dude, that's my face again? Like, I just got to get somebody fucking anybody but me in this video. Or have you ever felt like that?
Well, I mean, I don't probably experience that as much as you do. Well,
You
I mean,
had Ross
now,
and Emmett.
yeah,
Nathaniel
because like Ross
never
and
wanted to be on
Emmett,
camera. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, there have definitely been times in the past when I've had anxiety about doing this kind of stuff. But these days it's not. I don't know, not as much really. I mean, I'm in a different boat, I think, than you, because like I'm not reliant on like stream, like a Patreon type support, like
Right.
base.
Right.
And so it's like, honestly, like if I stopped making videos tomorrow,
Your
we
ad revenue's
would,
dead.
yeah, my ad revenue is dead, but that's not really what keeps me afloat. It's just like, making cool, brewing equipment and selling brewing equipment and stuff. Like that's kind of what keeps us going.
Yeah.
So the videos are, I mean, that stresses me out in a different way, but
We should, and I respect that, Kyle. Like, we should always have anxiety and we should always be stressed out. Everybody has it. Everybody's got to deal with it, and certain people deal with it in different ways. And I get it. You
Hate
should
my
get
face.
it, unless you're a fucking narcissist or something.
right.
Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, like, you're selling products to people. We're putting our faces on the internet. Like, there's going to be, like, it's not always going to be good.
Right. Hate my face IPA.
Hate
In the
my
chat.
face IPA. No,
Black
that's
Eyed
good,
Brews.
man. No, dude. I want to get out there. I'm trying my best to get out there next Saturday. I really am, man. We're coming up to
dude.
2 hours,
Okay.
30 minutes. I think we broke our records tonight, Kyle.
Chat.
Ah, fuck, here we go.
You need to get on CH because Jesse from Stella, he's coming all the way from fucking New Zealand, is going to be
go.
in town for like 3 or 4 days. And CH is potentially not going to make it over an hour and 45 minutes to Asheville to hang out with us. We're going to be making a bunch of whiskey mash, by the way, CH.
I
Is
know.
what we're doing. Now, these videos, I'm telling you what, man. Here's the thing about our channel. Pull our channel up. Like, not right now, but like at some point, look at our channel metrics on Social Blade. What you'll find is that anytime we do anything distilling related, it like takes off, catches on fire. So there should be some pretty like highly watched content. See, the concept is that we're gonna brew mash here, and then Jesse, and then he's gonna go back to New Zealand, brew the same mash, and then distill it. But the mash part of the video is gonna be on our channel. The distilling part's gonna be on his channel. So we're gonna collaborate in that way. And he's actually gonna make whiskey, which we can't do here because it's illegal. But should do fairly well, CH.
I know.
And it's gonna be fun too. It's gonna be a good time. So chat, tell CH he's gonna be messing up, man.
Here's what happened, and I talked to Kyle off this shit. So I'm trying to buy a house right now, and I'm having a hard time because I didn't have W-2 money. Right when I came out here from San Diego, I thought that I could live off this shit from savings, and I thought the world was so much cheaper that I could just kind of live off it off YouTube. Kyle, that's probably never going to happen for both of us. Like off ad revenue alone, solely based on we're the kings of trash. We're the kings of the fucking underground.
Yeah,
show.
the king of the rats.
You know what's funny is I was trying to write a joke the other day about like home brewing. And I was like, are we one step up or one step down from like Fight Club? Is there more people in Fight Club than homebrew? I don't know. It was just kind of cracking me up. But I came out here with 20 grand. I burned a lot kind of coming out, and I thought whatever, but I went out a bunch and this and that. And that wasn't the problem. The problem was that I need W-2 money. So I got a job at a local spot, and I've only been there for a couple months, and I fucking hate asking for time off when you're the new guy.
Sure.
So and I think I'm clearly doing the right thing, like going to Asheville and being like, fuck the company or whatever. That's not why I got hired. That's, I've been on the person that has hired me. I've been on the other side of that. Everybody says like, I'll work whenever. As soon as you hire them, they start asking for days off. So I never wanted to be that. But I'll be there in one form or another. Like I could probably do an all-day trip, bro. I'll pull this off.
Dude, you got it, man.
I know. Yeah.
It's not not optional.
Yeah. Is that Kyle Brown just coming into Barrage Army? It's not optional. Dude, that's a fucking great name for a beer. It's
Kyle
not
Brown's Barrage
optional.
Army?
No, it's not optional IPA. It's not. How do you say mandatory without saying mandatory? It's not optional.
Not optional. CH, you made me a moderator of my other account, a moderator, which that is
off,
like
boy
my
child,
primary
seriously.
account that I use for my membership to the Happy Hour. And then I can't donate any money when I'm on here. So now I had to buy a membership with my other
Nobody needs to donate.
my other account.
No, we're chilling, man. Should we do one more beer? No.
I never got my beer, man.
All right, here we go. I got half of this. Dude, the
Let me crack
only
my
beer,
beer. I'm
the
gonna get my-
only
get my
beer
beer
I
from
have
the
left
fridge.
is like a 4-pack of double IPAs.
My hard cutoff is like midnight. So I'll be right back, though. Be right back.
Okay, my hard cutoff is 20 minutes ago, but here we go.
What's that?
All right, my hard cutoff is 20 minutes ago.
I'll be right back.
No, so I had to get a job, and I work at a brewery. I pour beer again, or bartend again, whatever, and that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm doing it, working, making money, and trying to buy a house, and then hopefully one day I can cut back. I'm working like 35 hours a week right now. Like I thought I was gonna come in on like a weekend warrior, but I've been like, the main reason Homebrew for Life is not Homebrew for Life is because I wake up at noon these days, and on my shifts I don't even drink alcohol. I don't want to drink in front of fucking people I don't know and coworkers I don't know and shit like that. Roswell's, what's up with you, man? Bry Guy Brews, man. Thanks, Chris Radiation. Much love, man. What do we got? Roswell's, let's hear about the job, you brunch.
Wow.
One more, 10 more. We got a hard midnight, man. Yeah, I pour beer. I pour drinks. I pour whiskey. I pour bourbon. I pour wine. Yeah, I work at a place called McDonald's off 4th and... are you still doing the same thing? Hell yeah, man. Roswell's, North Dakota in the house. I'm going to pour beer for the rest of my life. It's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. But thank you to everybody, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm back on the W2 vibe. Much love, man. I feel good. It's good people, good company. Always have a hard midnight. Pour me an IPA. All I have left is double IPAs. Bry Guy Brews. Nah, I'm always going to be around beer. I'm never going to work in a commercial brewery. I just don't want to. I've done construction too long. If I'm going to make that type of money, I would just rather work construction. Construction makes more than commercial brewers. But I always want to be around beer. So what do? I work at breweries. Kyle, what are you doing, man? You got
I like the idea of someone dropping in on this live stream. It's just you and a mannequin.
How can you hear me?
Wow.
I have my headphones on.
Oh, okay. They're not plugged in?
Yeah, they're plugged in.
All right, hold on. I'm going to use the restroom.
All right.
After this, if there's still 60 people in here, I'll come back with a double IPA. Yeah, how do you do that? You just have a, what do you call it on the camera? Dude, your camera's so much better than mine.
It's a zoom lens.
See, it's a
what
zoom
you're
lens.
saying?
Yes, a zoom lens. That's exactly the word I wanted to hear. This is what drives me crazy about production. People that are watching us right now can see us and hear us, and we're all whatever. In my mind, I'm like, Kyle's fucking camera is so much better than mine. I want to fucking strangle a chicken. And by chicken, I mean my penis. No, I'm kidding. But look at how much better you look than I do.
Yeah, but you have a nice camera as well. What camera are you using right now?
What camera am I using? I'm using a Logitech 1099 20 IPA. Later, Chris Radiation. Much love, Raj. Kyle, hold it down. I'll be right back.
All right. Holding it down. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about, man. When you're not, there's a lag in the video, I can't tell that you're gone. Anyway, lenses are key. That's right, Zach Pearson. The lens is the key. Zoom lens with like a low f-stop, and that's how you do it, man. Get that nice bokeh. I think the lenses on our GH5s cost more than the actual cameras. God, what about hot blocking screen for the replacement of the bazooka screen? I mean, that's like an Emmett question. He primarily is the one who deals with the like the new product development these days. I do some of it, but a lot more Emmett. So I'll mention it to him. No, man, we only ship clawhammer systems. We don't have enough staff for that. Choke it. What's up? What is it? Riviera. Yeah, man, you gotta get the aperture set right. Oh, OP1 tracks. Yeah, you know what? I've been into really recently are the Teenage Engineering Pocket Operator synths. Those things are super cool. And I've been working with the PO22, I think it is, or PO33 is the arcade one. So I'm kind of getting close to like putting something together that I can put into a video. Good beginner still would just be like I don't know, like probably like I mean, if you're trying to build a still, you can do a 1 gallon still. 5 gallon still is like actually functional. Solar power brew systems. A buddy of mine actually owns this company. It's called Lawson'S Solar, and he makes these like solar power evacuated tube hot dog cookers. You can actually cook a lot of stuff. You can like make coffee in them. He's turned this thing into like an amazing company, Lawson'S Solar. Like they're quite a bit bigger than ours are. Deadmo's gonna butt chug some beer. Sweet. Yeah, man, Chris, don't go. We need to get CH to wrap up his Keezer video so we can get back to cranking out some like just more short form funny stuff. When are we coming out to Texas? I don't know, man. But I hear it's cool though. Kyle, can you plug that camera again? Can I plug the camera again? Like, what kind of a camera is it? It's the Sony A7S III with the like literally the cheapest lens you can get for it, the kit lens, the one that comes with it. But it's like a I'm not sure what the zoom is on it. It's a 28-70. I'm drinking a Saison de Liz with chamomile in it. It's see if I can get to, yeah, there we go, focus. There we go. Yeah, Saison de Liz. It's really good. It's just a really nice like mellow Saison with chamomile in it. I don't know why, but I really like the taste of chamomile.
We got 65 people here still, man. That's like incredible for almost being midnight.
Well, you know, man,
I didn't get the double IPA. I still got some 65 people here, man. Back in the day, I used to stream on Twitch. I'd be stoked if I got like 3 or 5 people here, man. So I want to thank everybody who's here right now. I really do from the bottom of my heart, man. It's just me and Kyle, my buddy out there in Nashville. We're drinking beers, we're shooting the shit, and we're being ourselves. So thanks to everybody who's here right now, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is why I think you got to get this fucking stream going, Kyle. You really, Goose Fraba's here. He's out there in Texas, brewing bad, day in the life. Thumbs up, much love. I see the trophies. So you see the emojis on there, like the Homebrew for Life thing.
Yeah, what are all like the blue
Roswell's.
ribbons?
Okay, so if you've been a member of my channel for like a month, you get one of those. If Todd Porter, man, much love. There he is, the barrage. Mr. Gibson, hell yeah. Thanks, man.
Wow.
So if you've
What
been
am
with
I? I got a happy hour emoji. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so if you have the happy hour emoji, I think that's the first one you get. And if you've still been a member of the channel, I think you get the blue ribbon. And then I think if you get the trophy, these guys have been subscribing for 6 months, man, which is fucking nothing but love, man. Like these guys give up $3 a month to like literally do nothing but have that emoji, man. But I appreciate it.
The trophy emoji.
Yeah, and then at 1 year, there's a new emoji. I don't want to talk about it, but I haven't been doing this for a year yet. But T-Man, dude, just donated $10, man. T-Man's the fucking barrage. Thank you, man. And this money goes through PayPal. It doesn't really go through YouTube. You know, this money, pretty much 90% of it does go to me. So, T-Man, thank you, man. Thank you, you barrage. I'll get out of the line of fire. T-Man, thanks, man. And we lose Kyle? You paying your bills or what?
Yeah,
dude?
I mean, I'm still here, but my camera.
Your camera's too high of quality.
Off. It's too high of quality.
Benjamin says get Ross in here, but about an hour ago, Kyle kind of broke the news that Ross is taking off. He's going to move to Colorado.
Yeah, man. Ross is moving to Colorado. Ross hasn't been on the stream before, though. Emma has not been on the stream. Emma said he would do it.
Dude, I would love to have Emmett on here. Get both of you on here. Like, for the first month, you know, I want to get all of y'all on here. I really want to get, you know, because he wanted to start the same channel called The Hoppy Hour. And at one time, this was called The Barrage Cast. But that kind of became like more of like a Spotify thing.
Yeah.
Shit, here we go, man. We got another super chat. Go Bower. Haven't seen this guy's name pop up yet, but he said, CH, just look in the mirror and say, today we're getting back to homebrewing. Shout out to Go Brewer, man. Thank you, man. Much love, man. That was like $16 in the last like 30 seconds, so thank you guys. Aubrey, hey, CH, do you sell shirts? Yeah, I sell shirts, and Clawhammer sells shirts, and yeah, it's in the link in the bio, I think. Maybe not. But anyway, man, I'm just stoked that we have fucking 65 people here. Goddamn, almost 3 hours into a stream. Yeah, 2 hours and 52 minutes. And we're barraging, man.
Come on down!
We're
But
barraging.
Kyle, when I get back to homebrewing, when I get back to putting out travel vlogs, like, I'm kind of interested to see like how it is with the whole CTR shit, because remember when I came out to Clawhammer the first time? We got another member, man. Andrew Bistad. Much love, Andrew. Cheers, you barrage. But remember when I was like trying to figure out how to, you know, because I thought my content was okay, but nobody ever clicked on it except for diehard brewers. And remember that thumbnail I put out where it was me, you, and Steve, and it said, "That's all, folks."
Yeah.
So that fucking CTR has like 8%, 8.3%, which is like insane for the rest of my channel. Like just
Right.
that thumbnail alone. And that was an outtake video of when I went to Asheville and hung out with Emmett and Steve and Nathaniel and Lawson.
Yeah.
So if I can kind of, you know, get back to doing grain to glass videos and really doing the homebrew for life thing and applying the shit that I know now, I think I'll be in a better situation, because you just know it makes life easier, you know, when you're putting out content and you see the green thumbs go up and the average, you know, the weekly hours go up and the money go up and the subscribers go up. It makes you want to put out more content. And when you take time off, all this shit just goes down. Gray, thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down. You're like,
Yeah.
it just makes you harder to get back into it. It's almost kind of like your weight, like where you're at, like in life. Like, okay, I took time off the gym, but there's no YouTube creator app that lets you know, like, you're getting fatter, you're getting grosser, you're eating too much red meat, you're drinking too much beer. There is that for YouTube.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, YouTube lets you know like how hard you're being fucking lazy, but there's no other app in life that lets you know that.
Yeah.
What if we had that about like our
100%.
love or our girlfriends or our friendship? Like this is going up and this is going down. You don't know that. You just have to feel that organically. But we do get that on YouTube. And I don't know, man. It just sucks to see like, I mean, I'll show it to you guys right now. I mean, I'll show you guys exactly what I make on YouTube right now. It's the worst it's ever been. So here's what I'm talking about.
Is it the worst? Is it the worst it's ever been right now?
Oh yeah. So you guys see
CH, man, you gotta
Okay, so there's 4 thumbs downs right there. They're not going to be able to see that on that, but it goes to views, watch time in hours.
Yeah. Okay, you can see it sort of.
Okay, so it's usually with. Can you see that, Kyle?
Yeah, put it back up there.
Okay, it's right here.
I can see it full screen.
There's a glare.
So like 70,000 views. This is over the last 28 days. Estimated revenue $400.
$400 is nothing. I used to make with this and the Hoppy Hour. I used to make like $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
Just solely based off ad revenue. That wasn't donations. That wasn't merch sale. That wasn't Amazon affiliate. That wasn't Teespring. You know, and that's when I was doing good. It was like, okay, I can make like $3,000 a month doing a channel that only had, less than 40,000 subscribers, which is way less than you. I just got another donation, man. I'm not trying to panhandle right now, even though I'm sounding like that. I'm just being honest. But Fraggle Rock has just tipped us $10, man. He says our shit is dope, man. Thank you, Fraggle Rock. And that's one of my favorite shows. That's the first show I really ever remember.
Wow.
Remembering, but Kyle, like those thumbs ups and those thumbs downs, like affect your morale.
Well, yeah, totally.
It
I
does.
I totally get it. It does. Yeah. And like for me, yeah. Like for me, it's like sales and.
We're in a different world.
Web traffic.
We're in a different world because your touchdown is selling the system that you gave me, right? Like that's like.
Yeah, but we're in the similar boat as in, like most people, they just go to work and they get paid every week or every other week or every month or whatever.
Right.
And they just do their job and they don't think about where's the money going to come from my paycheck. Like most people don't have to think about where is the money going to come from my paycheck, right? Let alone where's the money going to come from my paycheck and Emmett's paycheck and Lawson's and Nathaniel's and Derek's, like it does it can get overwhelming. And like for you, it's like, what's the plan B? What's the backup? Like so I guess like we're in the same boat as in like we
entrepreneurship, like our
we're both entrepreneurs.
Yeah, but our money goes up and down. And at the end of the day, I really kind of am jealous of the people that do have that W-2 9-to-5. Like people think like, oh, I just get, $1,000 every 2 weeks or whatever. It's like, dude, I've been on the other side of that where I make like $120 every 2 weeks, or sometimes sales are good. And you think it's going to be like that forever, but it's not, because that's not the way the world works. Like there's peaks and valleys in life, whether you're, in sales or in fucking gambling or drug dealing or whatever. Like you're always going to have ups and downs,
Yeah.
Did you get my text?
Totally.
Did you get my text? I told that guy $100.
Yeah. DH just sent me a text. He's trying to get a dude to cover for him next week to come.
I'll put it on the chat, bro. I'll put it on the chat.
I was like, I'll tell him I'll pay him $100 of Coinstar money if he'll cover it for you.
If you really pay him another $100, we could probably make it happen next Friday.
No, tell him I'll pay him the $100 you offered him. I think it's to offer him $200. Like, come on, fuck off, man. Just help a brother out, man.
Set up a GoFundMe for me to get a day off work. That's good, man.
It's not just a day off work.
That's good, man. Bam 707. CH, you're going through a huge life transition, bro. You're leaving behind O-Side and the group of barrages you brew with. Yeah, 100%, man. Thanks for getting that. The squad pushed through the content forward, and it's time to build your new content. You know what? When I just went to the bathroom right now, Kyle, I literally went outside and I kind of looked at my house from just kind of an outside looking, and I really did. Kyle, I never thought my fucking truck would make it here. 6 months ago, I legitimately thought like my truck was going to break down. Everybody in San Diego was going to laugh at me.
Yeah.
And my truck made it out here. And right when I got here, the landlord was here. He had two little toddlers running around. He gave me one key. It was one key and one key. Not like a spare key or back key and I got in here. I just went in here and I just started running around the whole house, dead sober, like I am playing with house money. I am fucking playing with house money, man. And T-Man, thank you for that $10 donation, man. Play possum to be with Kyle. I'm not playing possum. But Kyle, in San Diego, dude, I had everything, man. Like I had a garage. I had tools. I built my workbench. I had my own keg grater. I put my little shitty green screen flash up. Everything in the garage had either like, side to side, wall to wall, were like those $42 Amazon, what do you call it? Like shit you would stack on, like the stainless steel things. It was all geared towards brewing. And for me to come out here, and like, dude, Kyle, I couldn't sell any of that shit, man. People would come over and they're like, hey, I want to buy like 2 corny kegs. I would be like, dude, take it all. Here's 5 growlers. Here's 5 this. Here's a bag of hops. Here's a pound of fucking yeast or a pound of whatever. Coming out here for me starting all over again is like just kind of overwhelming. Like I really do need to spend about $1,000 to get back what I had, because I used to have those. I don't know how you store your grain, but I used to have those 55-pound, like dog golden retriever food containers.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, how do you store your grain?
I use one of those, but dude, you go to my homebrew shop, they don't put that shit in a dog food air sealed container. They just have it in the bag. So I put like one of those in my dog food container, and then the other bags I just, for like my base malt, I just keep it in the bag.
Okay.
I'm not like submitting my beers to GABF. The only person that has to like it is me, really. So,
Kyle, I'm telling this guy right now, man. I think this guy's a full-blown cokehead, but my buddy Nashville will give you another $100 if you.
No,
I'm not gonna make you pay it, but I just fucking threw you under the bus, man. Can you guys see that?
Dude, tell him to fuck off and cover your shift. Tell him there's.
No, I'm the new guy.
I'm the new
guy. No. I'm the new guy. The new guy never fucking gets shit off. All right, here we go. What do we got right here? Kyle McFay, man. Welcome to Barrage Army. Come on down.
Wow.
I got to get Gnome out there, too. I'll tell my son at least once a week he's the smartest kid in school. Don't be a teacher. Don't rent like us. Collect rent. If you can afford minimum wage, stop what you're doing. Meso is on to something, man. Dude, this fucking coworker only writes me back when he's... I think he might be watching when he's coked out. He just wrote back, what show? I don't do cocaine anymore. I haven't done cocaine in a few years. Kyle, you ever done cocaine?
Maybe.
We're not live. I don't know. This guy's a fucking... Dude, the only time this guy ever writes back to me is when it comes down to gambling or 3 a.m. shit. But anyway, man. I don't know. Hey, maybe we made enough money tonight in the stream that I can give him an offer he can't refuse, man. But anyway, I don't know.
Give him that Coinstar money. I owe you $5 of quarters.
No. Kyle, we still have 60 fucking people here. This has never happened before. Usually this happens when I put out a Homebrew for Life video.
They got cool coworkers who are covering their shifts, man. That's what they're all doing.
Well, you got to think about it. Like, we're in the latest time zone. Most people here are not at 11:46. You know, it's either 10:46, 9:46, or 8:46. East and the Beast. Kyle's beautiful face pulls a crowd.
Dude, not likely.
Do we have one more time for that double IPA or no?
I mean, I gotta go in about 15 minutes, but
I'm with Luis Diaz.
you should key a double. You should key a double IPA.
Okay, after this double IPA, I
Pretty
will
sure.
crack it. But I think that Kyle, check out Luis Diaz's comment. I think he's onto something. Guys coming all the way from New York. I know I'm not going to do that, but guys,
Dude. No, man. Jesse is he. Jesse, I mean, I mentioned it to Jesse, like, hey, CH is nearby. And Jesse said, I was actually going to reach out to CH and see if he was nearby to see if he could hang out.
Why am I doing that?
So Jesse does want to hang out for sure.
Yeah. Dude, I'm down, man.
You got to make it over. It's not an option, man. It's not option.
I know. I just
make
wish
it
that my biggest mistake was that I didn't start working out here right when I got here. I should have, built that W-2. It's not about having money. It's not about nowadays, the way that the world works with home loans after the 2008 fiasco. It's not about having good credit score. It's not about it's really not. It is, but it isn't. It's not about having, $10,000 or $20,000 saved up. It's about showing a W-2 track record of over a year, and most lenders want 2 years. I don't have that. So that's where I'm kind of at with my, real estate market life. I could ask my sister or my dad for money. They could give it to me, but that's not real. Like, that's not,
Sure.
I do have love in my family in that regard. I'm grateful, but getting free anything doesn't make anybody better, or a no interest loan that doesn't make the world a better place, man. Like, people need to understand the value of money. That's what kind of makes a good economy a good economy. So,
Well, okay, but here's the thing, man. You just
Kyle,
mentioned.
can I have $100,000 for free?
I'll give you.
All right, what do you got? What do you got, Kyle?
So you just mentioned that they had like 3 people closing on whatever Friday or Saturday. So I would just be like, hey, listen, man, I'm not gonna come in to get 30% less tips than I would if only 2 people were working here.
You bring up the
Just
best point.
fucking deal with it.
You bring up the best point.
That's how it is. I feel like that's how it needs to be in a bar setting. If
you want to
where you were, if you're gonna pay me a fucking salary and give me benefits and a 401k and health insurance and vacation, I'll show up every day. But if you're gonna make me, pick peanuts off the floor, pay me $2 an hour and just rely on tips, and then you overstaff the bar, I'm not making shit for money. I'm not gonna show up.
Right.
Give me their number, CH. I'll call them. I'll take care of it, man.
Well, here's
Get
the
out
thing.
here.
You want to hear some irony of this, and you always want to do the right thing. You really do. But here's the irony of this, Kyle. The week after this, since our company is based out of Asheville, we're shutting down the whole weekend, and we're going out there just to get fucked up. And in
Where?
In Asheville.
Asheville?
Yeah, at High
You're
Top.
coming to Asheville?
No. The week. Okay, my company. The weekend after when Jesse comes into town is from Asheville, so they're coming out to Asheville and they're shutting the brewery down for 2 days, and they're going to get fucked up in Asheville. You know where Big Top is?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we're all going the weekend after when Jesse comes into town, and they're going to close down for 3 days. And I'm literally like, give me Friday off, and I won't go the next weekend. And I will open and close by myself. Give me that. I haven't said it yet, but I think that it's going to work. That's my last, ace up my sleeve.
Yeah.
So I'll be there for, dude, Kyle, I'll fucking be there for Jesse. We're back up to 65, dude.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Kyle,
CH,
do you understand what I just said? Do you understand? The weekend after, the whole company,
Yeah,
like there's
I get it.
dude, there's 11
Yeah.
tasting rooms that are going to High Wire. That's where I actually work. I fucking cat's out of the bag. That are going to get fucked up, and High Wire's paying for it, and they're shutting down the tasting rooms. I'm like, let me fucking not go on that trip, and I'll stay back in Knoxville, and I'll we'll do $2,500 every night in the tasting room. I can handle that. I can bus whatever, mop the place, clean up the fucking period blood and the baby diapers in the bathroom. Somebody cover my goddamn shift September 16th when Jesse comes into town.
Okay, but CH, here's what I don't understand. I'm sure that's like a high dollar shift. It's the weekend shift. Is that not? So like my buddy Scott that I hang out with here in Asheville, he works at a bar and he only works Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. He doesn't work any other day, right? So
Sure.
he takes the other days off. So like those are the days he wants because those are the days where he makes money. I don't understand why someone doesn't want to cover your shift because that's like when they're gonna make the most money.
The thing about Knoxville is that everybody works at 3 different breweries. It's kind of weird. Like everybody works full time, but not at one establishment. Like they think if they get maybe, if you're a nurse at 3 different places as opposed to 1 different place, you'll get less burned out. If you're a cook at 3 different places. So everybody in Knoxville works 40-hour weeks, but they work at Crafty Bastard, Zool, or like Yeehaw, and like to me that's the exact opposite. I only want to go to one place. I don't know. Maybe they're onto something. But I don't know. But in my short-term memory span, I just want to go to one place. And Kyle, I'll make this work. I'm a bullshit motherfucker. Like I can make this work. Like at the end of the day, all right. I'm gonna crack that double IPA. God damn it. I'm cracking the double IPA.
CH, I'm leaving in 6 minutes, just so you know. I gotta go ahead and midnight.
6 minutes. We have 6 minutes for your double IPA.
Hey, key the double IPA. This would be a great clip, man. This would be a great clip. I just lost your audio. I can't hear you anymore. I hope he turns his mic back on. Before he keys the double IPA. Who else? Man, yeah, we got to get CH over here next weekend. He's got to be here for this. You guys know Jesse, right? From Stillet? He's an epic dude. He's literally coming all the way from New Zealand to hang out. He's making some other stops in the U.S. as well, but he's flying to Asheville from Texas, and then he's going to be here for like 3 days, and then he's going to Oregon after that, and then he's going back to New Zealand, maybe even like New York after that. He's just zigzagging back and forth, but CH is out in his front yard looking at the house, having an existential crisis moment right now. Probably he'll be back though. He'll be back, I think. I hope. Hopefully he'll key that double IPA. I think that'd make for a good clip. Yeah, Jesse's a legend, man. He's a legend. Jess, Texas, you say he's gonna be on Modern Rogue. That does sound familiar.
Existential Crisis IPA.
Did you go out into your front yard to look at your house again?
Ate a bunch of mushrooms and stared at the sun. No, man. Dude, we're still here with 63 people. All right, here we go, guys. Double IPA. Looks like everyone's going to hell early tonight. See, I have no zoom in or autofocus. That's what you got to pay the big bucks for.
You gotta pay the big bucks, but
Yeah.
CH, dude, you could probably just hook your A7 up to your computer. I had Nathaniel sorted out. I've tried 3 or 4 different times to get the fucking camera hooked up to the computer, and I couldn't get it to work out. And then Nathaniel eventually figured it out.
You've got the cam link, right? You've got the cam link.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, but like I'm on my 3rd cam link, and then we went through 5 USB cables as well. So, but yeah, man.
I got this one. Some people have like the straight USB one. Kyle, check it out. I got this one
You're on a delay. I can't really see it, but
right here. It's the HD 60.
HD 60
Looks like something
IPA.
from like Predator or Alien. It's got this.
Oh, sure, yeah, but that thing records as well, right?
I don't know. It was $200, but
Yeah.
I got the Cam Link too. I'm actually thinking about selling that because I just rocked the Logitech. But no, we're gonna be good, man. Hey, dude, let's fucking get it going, man. In all honesty, the whole Brew Show video like really got me. Is that the butt plug? Shit, I wish that fit my butt. The whole Brew Show video like really got me back into it, man. And Kyle, like, do you know your 4 videos mapped out? Like, do you know how to put out? I know you know how to put this out, but like, what's your schedule for Clawhammer? I know the Saison video is probably next.
Right now, I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Yeah, I don't want to get into it. I'm just trying to keep my head above water. We have a lot of stuff to edit. Like, I'm done filming for the rest of the year. Like, when you come into town and Jesse are here, because you're going to be here, you're going to make it work. We're going to film probably like 3 videos at least. And then my buddy Luis Yanes from Luisito from up in NYC is going to come into town, I think, before Jesse even leaves. And I'm going to shoot at least something with him. So I already have I have so many videos that aren't even edited. I'm done for the rest of the year. I'm trying to do something with Bruce Show, which will be the absolute last collab.
100%.
But yeah, well, I'm wondering if maybe just like I've tried to make a Keezer video twice. In fact, I've completely shot 2 Keezer videos, and I've never finished them. I'm wondering if you're just procrastinating because you have a Keezer video that's like just right in front of you. It's a big roadblock.
Another thing that kind of scares me about this whole, not scares me, okay, so I've got a backlog. I've been traveling, right? This whole year I've been to Austin, I've been to Prague, I've been to Stockholm, I've been to Berlin, I've been to San Diego, I've been to Asheville, I've been to Asheville again. I caught up with pretty much the majority of those videos, and then because that's kind of what I did, like traveling videos coming out here. I don't want to build this badass fucking Keezer video because I really want to do it with like antler heads and stain the glass and hit it with teak oil and shit like that, and then I got to move out again, And the bummer about Knoxville, it's nothing like San Diego in regards to OfferUp or Craigslist. Craigslist shit flies in San Diego or LA all the time, but
Yeah.
there's 100,000 people here. I'm trying to sell a camper shell. Kyle, you pouring a beer over there?
I mean, no, I have some beer left to drink though.
But in San Diego, like I bought a camper shell for my Tacoma, and I felt like I was the first guy at the auction, the hottest guy. I've been trying to sell that shit for 2 months now, and on Facebook Marketplace, and it's just like, fuck, man, like this back and forth stuff. I mean, living in a small town is really difficult when it comes to Craigslist and flipping shit on the side. I just know that I'm going to brew a bunch of beer because when I get back to brewing, I'm going to do probably 2 batches a day, side by side, split batch or smash batches or, switch up the yeast, dry yeast, liquid yeast. And then it's like, dude, time to move out. And it's like, to really move out, you need like 3 fucking months to move out. In San Diego, yes. In Knoxville, no. I really need like a month because I don't have a ton of stuff. I never bought a ton of stuff. Like Lynn's been over to my house. I have this like brand new $1,000 love seat that's been here for 2 months. I've sat on it twice. It's pretty much like something you'd buy for if you were like a Airbnb landlord.
Yeah.
It's just not me, man. And I just want to own a house with a garage, and I'm going to fucking totally turn it into a Clawhammer studio, man. And I'm going to hit you up, Kyle, because the way you have like the lights that shine on the back that don't get the shadows and on your face, like I've never seen that before in my life, and I can't really get that information from, too much shit on the internet. I mean, you could really get it on the internet, but it's one of those things where you kind of have to be there to understand it, you know, like where, you know, it's like security cameras, like where they hit and where they don't, you know, like where, if you're a bartender, can I drink without like not being on the light in the shadow? You know, you really have to kind of like hone in a place to get that. So I don't really want to dump a bunch of money in here. So in the meantime, I'm just going to like bullshit, you know? I really would just want to buy my fucking house, have a 2-car garage, and just go for blood, man. I just, you know, really have like what you have or Jesse has, or who's that other guy who's got that crazy YouTube channel, which I don't know how he's as popular as he is.
Josh Wiseman.
No. No. They just know the algorithm. But there's another dude who knows the algorithm. He's the guy that's like, hey, today we're going to make drinks from like Lord of the Rings or Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah. It's how to drink.
How to drink. Right. And I watch his videos and I'm like, dude, even if I, you know, because obviously whether you're elementary brewing or yeast and the beast, you kind of see what other people are doing and you can kind of be like, I do want to do that or I don't want to do that. Dude, I watched that guy's fucking channel and I'm just like, I just don't get it, man. I literally just don't fucking get it. It's all got to be all CTR. It's got to be all just thumbnail. Like, hey, what they drink in like Lord of the Rings, or hey, what they drink in Neverending Story. Like, hey, like you guys are talking about what they drank in a fictional movie, which doesn't make sense. But maybe the joke's on me, man. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, they know how the algorithm works. It's like binging with Babish.
He's not going to. Yeah, but binging with Babish, you can actually watch that video and learn something. You can't learn anything from learning about like what they drank in fucking Lord of the Rings or Dungeons and Dragons. But whatever, you know, the joke's on me.
Your audio. Is it me?
No, I'm still here. Are you still here?
Cannot hear you.
You still here? Kyle. Hello?
I lost your Discord audio.
Okay, here we go. Let's go back to Discord.
Yo.
Gotcha. Hold on.
There you go. Now I can hear you.
Am I back?
Yeah. I don't know what happened there.
All right. So, yeah, you know, you could say fuck it or fight it, you know, but at the end of the day, I really just don't get it. I just don't get like, hey, let's make drinks from like Jurassic Park. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. See, how old are you again, CH?
I'll be 38 in January. But if anybody asks, I'm 19. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, man, I didn't buy a house until I was like in my 30s. For sure, I was like 35 or 36 even.
In Asheville or Colorado?
My first house ever that I bought. I was in my mid-30s. In North Carolina.
Asheville?
Yeah.
Nice.
Asheville.
Noise.
But yeah, I would say like, yeah, man, buy house, man. You got to buy a house. You need to buy a house.
I know. You know?
All
right, I know
find
you
a house with a garage. I mean, just like you can probably pay. I mean, good thing you didn't buy a house when you moved to Knoxville, because that thing would be worth 75, 60, 50%, you know, of what it was when you moved there.
No, I'll get in, man.
Market seems to be going down.
No. Hey, at the end of the day, Kyle, like, I moved to, Johnny fucking, who's the guy from,
Johnny Five. Keep Johnny Five alive.
No, who's the dude from,
Johnny Knoxville.
No, who's the,
John Denver.
No, what's the movie, Dazed and Confused? You know Matthew McConaughey's character?
Yeah.
I wasn't as smooth as that guy, but I was like as big of a burnout as that guy is. Like if you look at that guy, he's cool in that movie for 2 hours. Biggest fucking loser ever. Like 30 years old, hometown,
right.
Hanging out with kids that go to high school. You're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
I wasn't that bad, but I was like pretty bad. I was like pretty close to that. So I got out. I don't know, man. I just want to buy a house. I just want to turn it into a fucking cool thing. But who knows, man? But anyway, hey, we got 2 minutes left. Anybody got any questions for Kyle from Clawhammer? We got to get out of here. We got to get the fuck out of here. It's 3 hours in, man. This is ridiculous.
Dude, buy a house IPA, CH.
All right, Kyle, you got anything? Anything you wanted to dish out, or is that it?
No, but
Kyle, thank you, bro.
Nope.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me on, man. It's good hanging out.
We'll do it again in a month,
It's a good time. Dude, we're gonna do it again in a week. CH, you're gonna be here.
Wait. You're not gonna host your own podcast because you can only do it once a month, but you want to come on mine every week? That doesn't make sense.
No. You were gonna be in Asheville in a week from today.
Yeah. Oh, that part. Yeah.
Jesse's gonna be here in a week from today.
Yeah. We
And
still got
1
60
week
people.
from right now. Well, sorry. I guess it's like after midnight. So 1 week from tomorrow.
Later,
we'll be
Rob
here.
Barnes. Later, Zach Pearson. Let's get out of here, man. All right, Kyle, go to bed, man. I know you got real things to do, man. It's midnight our time. Is this Portly Gentleman? Is this Portly
this.
motherfucking Gentleman?
Delete this IPA.
All right, everybody, let's get out of here. Everybody have a good night.
All right,
Later,
man.
Bros.
Cool. Thanks, CH. Good talking, man.